So as we get set to go racing here for main event action from the IAME USA Grand National Championship, we'd like to ask that all please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And just like that, we're ready for action here from Trackhouse Motorplex. Brett Baldeck joining me back up in the booth. Brett, what were some of the takeaways you had here from your morning roaming the grounds?
As you guys mentioned right off the top of the show, it was freezing out there this morning, but it's definitely gotten a little bit warmer. The sun is shining today, not a cloud in the sky. Also, I mean, these drivers have what they have now. No more heats, no more warm-ups. These are all main events that you're going to see now through the afternoon. So hopefully they got it dialed in, because now it's all up to the drivers.
That's it. Last words of encouragement here, and then we get set to go green for our main events. 20 laps for the micros and minis, 22 for the K juniors, K seniors, and X30 juniors, and X30 Pro bat and cleanup. We'll have 25 laps on the board. Two main events here, a short break in the action for the hardworking crews, bringing all of the main events to life here at Trackhouse Motorplex, including our phenomenal camera and production team. And then we're back with 4 more to close out the day. But we're going to kick things off with the youngest superstars, Motorsport's next generation. And the next big star getting ready to get christened potentially right here. Jack Katowski leading your field off as we get set to bring you through the lineup. And so let's take you through it as they roll onto the racetrack. Jack Katowski on pole after 2 heat races and the super heat. Tristan Francisco to join him alongside Trey Sanders and Charlie Skurzapowski on row number 2. Alessio Tosti and Grayson Waite back on row 3. Franco Schiavo and Bo Wyatt on row 4. Emmett Dalton, Liam Compatiella will complete the first 5 rows. Then it's Spencer Hyde on row 6 alongside Kipling Canals, Brody Allegretta and Dylan Merchandini on row 7. Sebastian Kim, Chase Solman on row 8. Maddox Knives and Wiley Lee and Nicola Lopez on row 10 all by his lonesome for the 19-driver Micro Swift main event. So 20 laps here. This one could be a long one, or it could go by in a hurry. And really, at least from our seat here, Brett, it's going to come down to whether or not they play it fully like a team race here and have 2 or 3 drivers break away, or if we have a frenzy from start to finish, because we've seen the races go either way over just 2 days of action.
Yeah, these races this weekend, I feel like I've been spoiled. It's my first event with Kart Chaser, and these races, these main events have been awesome all weekend long. But Jack Katowski, we talked to him pre-race. He has the confidence. He's starting from the pole. I think he may try to, hopefully, his goal is to extend his lead right off the bat here. We're about to see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, there's only so much strategizing you can do before a main event like this. You ask any driver on the grid what they're hoping for, they're just saying, I want to get through the start and then I hope that I break away. Well, in a 9-horsepower restricted micro swift package, that is much easier said than done. We're not going to have to wait long to find out if that strategy will work for Jack, though. Here he comes down the front stretch, looking for the green flag, not on the first time by. And that one, again, will come down to mainly just the start box. They're going to try and keep the speed as slow as they can all the way to the last second of turn one. The slower the speed, the typically a cleaner start we'll have through that chicane.
Yeah, they started slow, but it looks like they were speeded up quite a bit before that
early.
box.
And so they basically, in the rules, they get one mulligan, the front row does, if they are deemed to be the reason for the wave off of the start. If the second start, the one that we're getting ready to head around to, which might be a minute at the way they're pacing around here, I think Jack realizing that's going to pick him up and bring it all the way over to the final turn before slowing things back down. But if this second start doesn't go, the race director, Blake Hunt, and his crew with Porter Wiesenfeld down on the front stretch as our head flagman, they could opt to invert the front row, send them back to row two. Row two would then move up. They would get 2 tries at it. If they don't go well, then they would go back to row 3. And row 3 would go all the way up to the front row. They put Alessio Tosti on the front row. But hopefully that one mulligan there, that one attempt at the start will bring us back around as we got a little bit of a slow number 23 machine of Maddox Knives trying to get back up to speed. Looks like he's got it fired up. They're right at the clutch engagement speed here, so it's easy if you just let your throttle pedal loose for a second to have the motor stall out. But I think he's
trying to get back in line there.
As long as he gets in before the last turn, they should be okay. He's trying to hand signal his way to get into his spot. This one might wave him off here. Let's see, he'll find a place to blend in line. I think maybe 1 row back from where he should be. Either way, again, it's a long wait all the way down to Porter here at the front stretch. It looks good on this time. It is. We're underway here for Micro. Oh, man, up and over the curbing. Bo Wyatt as they all get up to full speed. 3 and 4 abreast through turn 3, but they'll bring them back down to normal into the bowl for the first time. Jack Katowski away with the early lead. Charlie Skurzapowski there in the parallel up to second. Then Alessio Tosti with a good start from the third row up to P3 as they roll to the infield. He's got a huge run. He's got to roll with it. Going to second. The number 36 machine moves forward still. That's, contact here in the kink.
You hate to see that so early again with, 20 laps. They have a long way to go, but again, when you're mid to back in the back of the pack, you want to make those moves as early as possible. But that's the result sometimes, is incidents on lap 1.
And I think that all kind of began a good ways back. Looked to be involving the likes of Wiley Lee and Nicola Lopez as we put the first lap in the books here. Franco Schiavo in the 37, we've got our eyes on him because he had a rough start. Top qualifier from the weekend, crossed the pylon there down in 8th, but this will help him get back to the lead. Alessio Tosti wasting no time. Up to the front, first lead change here happening on lap number 2 as the top 3 have a little gap back to Trey Sanders there in the Nitro Kart in 4th. Jack Katowski, or in 5th actually, with Tristan Francisco in the 4th spot in the Chrome machine. Then you have Sanders and his whole group, about the entire rest of the pack, if you will. But Alessio Tosti has come to play here on Sunday. Look at the gap he's already beginning to pull out.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of working together by those top 3, but it looks like they're pretty spaced out as they complete lap 2 here. But again, this is a 20-lap event. This is the longest event they've had this weekend.
Yeah, it'll take a moment for us to really get a read on speed, at least out of the gate right now. The number 36 has a bit of an edge over the field. Charlie Skurzapowski trying to hang tough with him, but Jack Katowski's not going to give him the chance, or maybe he can't get it done. Charlie not letting that second spot get away early. You saw Jack look low in the bowl, and Charlie said no dice there, and Jack had to get on the brakes pretty hard to avoid any contact. And now Charlie's going to go to the lead, so here we go. We're going to dice it up early in the going of this Micro main event, and that's going to keep more drivers in play. The more they fight for the lead, the slower the laps will be for them, the faster it'll be for the pack to close up.
Yeah, you saw Katowski take a peek behind him just to see what that gap currently stands at. They're still, I would say, about maybe a half a second in front of the 4th place driver of Tristan Francisco, but this drafting on the front and back stretch, they can quickly pull back up to each other.
And along with that, they get to the end of their power band so early on these main straightaways that even when they pass in certain corners up front, if they're the driver that gets past is able to quickly get back to the rear bumper of the new leader, they won't end up going all that much slower. It's really if they defend or if they pass in some of the slower turns like turn 8, turn 11, right before a big straightaway, that they'll lose a bit of time. But if they only pass on the backstretch and potentially even down at turn 1, they could leapfrog essentially and still maintain a really good kind of runner's pace. But here, turn 9, that'll split them up. That'll certainly take away the bump drafting effect here on the run up to 11, and it'll probably take them the whole front stretch to get back to Charlie. So 4 down, and Jack Katowski now moving forward up to second.
Katowski's been fast, as we mentioned, all weekend. And you can see, obviously, he still has the speed in that Kart. He's been able to drop back to third. Now he's coming back up to second. And I think he's probably going to try and look for the lead here, possibly. No, because he has a challenge for second there.
Alessio just running out of juice there at the end of the straightaway. He pulled out a line with a huge run out of turn 3, but he had no draft. Meanwhile, Jack was getting the slipstream off the back of Charlie, so it kind of pulled him back ahead by the time they got into the break zone. And now headed into the hairpin. Here he goes, Jack Katowski to the inside with help. Both of them going to tag team Charlie Skurzapowski for the lead, and it'll push him back to third. And now they'll go at it into 9. Alessio on the outside, Charlie to the inside, almost for the lead. Here comes the cavalry.
Here comes almost, I guess, half the field almost behind them as they are side by side going through this last corner.
Oh, what a great race this is shaping up to be. Again, I mentioned it. We'll find out by about lap 3 or 4, the midsection, if we were going to have a pack split. We did, and now that's gone because nobody is wanting to work with each other. Tristan Francisco low on the backstretch, trying to protect a little bit. Move all the way back for the 5th spot, or attempt at it. That was Liam Compatiello. Mind you, Liam started back in the 10th spot, so he's already up 4, and the best lap of the race was Bo Wyatt back in 7th as they were tracking towards the leaders.
Bo Wyatt's also been strong all weekend long. Again, this is all going to be day racing, so they can't really use their notes from late evening sessions that we've had this weekend. But look at this mess as they head into this corner here.
Oh, Trey Sanders around the outside is going to get a spot out of it. The biggest loser there was Tristan Francisco. He drops back 1. Compatiello falling back a little bit behind Grayson Waite in the 5 car. Furl black flag for someone in that group. Looked to be around maybe Francisco. Franco Schiavo now with new life as well in the TWCRG, the black and orange number 37. But bit of a gap has formed now to the top 2. Trey Sanders going to lengthen that a little as he makes the pass for 3rd. Charlie Skurzapowski down the board. Leading early, now back to 5th as Bo Wyatt continues to try to go forward. We saw him have this big moment on that curb right there in the alt course, and that was another big moment there. All stacked up in the infield. He'll lose 1, 2 spots out of it. If he can hold this one, he'll keep it down to just 1.
It's almost like when you lose a draft. I mean, he wasn't in the preferred racing groove and the line just went by him, but he has plenty of time still, not even halfway, to get caught back up to these lead duo of Katowski and Tosti.
As long as the lead duo don't stick together and the fight for 3rd doesn't open up. That's the big key. Now the good news in the case of Bo Wyatt, 3rd and 4th are teammates. Ryan Perry Motorsport drivers, Tristan Francisco and Trey Sanders. If they stay hooked up, they're going to be okay. If the speed is also there, but Alessio Tosti has decided to give way to Jack Katowski, and you saw that whole 4-pack really bobble on the exit of the bowl. That's not good news, but even Jack making a mistake there in the infield. I wonder if further back there might have been some dirt drugged onto the racetrack, and now Alessio is going to go to the lead. A little bit deep though. They'll drag race out at turn number 8, and back goes Jack to the front.
That's the consequence sometimes of being a leader. If you're the first to get into that dirt, if someone back in the pack guy had an off and drags that dirt onto the racetrack.
Yep.
But
you're essentially a plow creating a clear path for everybody.
Correct.
So it becomes much easier for the drivers further back to set the best lap time of the race, and that's what we see again this lap here. Tristan Francisco having the purple time, 53.694. It was only a 53.7 for the leaders, but unfortunately they were fighting still in that second group, and so they didn't really make any inroads. They're 9/10 away from Alessio Tosti in second, and so they haven't been able to take advantage off that back and forth. Now they've kind of settled in. Alessio has equally settled in though behind Jack and is trying to just shove him away from this group of about 7 of them.
Yeah, you can see they have a nice gap, the first 2, and then this second group starting to accordion back together. We'll see if they stay in a line as they make the final turn onto the front straightaway, and if they're able to close the gap at all by staying in a nice organized line. As you can see, that's what they're doing right there.
Yeah, this is the part of the race now where the rubber really meets the road. You're going to need raw pace, because even in a pack like this where the draft's going to be heavy, they'll notice if your kart's not handling the best. And now we're 3 wide. Oh, man, hang on here, boys. Charlie Skurzapowski on the outside. He's going to try to hang on against Bo Wyatt. He will, as it kind of funnels back down to single file in turn 5. Trey Sanders even kind of washed up the berm a bit there in the bowl.
Good racing, because 3 wide we've seen in all divisions this weekend not work out very well.
Yeah,
So-
we have. We've seen a lot of moments, but a bit of calm now here in this Micro Swift main as we approach halfway. Still 10 more laps to go, a long road ahead, but that means bad news here for this group, because that's a lot more time that Alessio Tosti can wait behind Jack Katowski, and so they've tried letting Trey Sanders lead them. Now they're going to have Tristan go to the front of the pack. We'll see if he's a better lead car. Oh, contact. Franco Schiavo up and over the curbing trying to follow the pack past Trey, and now Bo Wyatt to the inside of Charlie Skurzapowski for 4th.
And it must be so frustrating if you're Trey Sanders in 3rd, because Tristan Francisco now in 3rd, because you would want everyone to stay in line, and you just see the 2 drivers in front of you getting smaller and smaller, gapping you further and further. It's almost you want to turn around and say, hey guys, let's stay in line, get organized here. Must be so frustrating when there's nothing you can do in 3rd place, leading a group of about 6 karts.
Well, and the toughest part is for the cars behind, right? It's really tough to tell how much faster or slower you are than the driver in front, and it's such a draft-dependent class. I mean, you can feel really good down the straightaways and roll with the runs. We see Charlie doing that now on Tristan. But then you know everyone's going to do the same thing right back to you as Bo Wyatt goes to the front of the pack now.
You can see what's happened with all that moving and shaking is our top 2 have extended their lead as they're trying to get organized in this second pack here. I don't think leapfrogging works very well. Sometimes you can try and leapfrog, one driver after the other every other lap, but
well, it's got to be timed right, and they got to be willing to push each other after the leapfrogging ends. It's a two driver dance, really. You've got to rely on the passing driver to push you for a straightaway to make up for the time lost that you guys trading position. And now, for Alessio Tosti, by the way, he went past Jack Katowski a couple laps ago. Jack has kind of allowed him to lead the way, and it's still working. Now up to over 2 seconds. Bo Wyatt, sadly, the school bus has left him. Those 2 are gone. He seems to be a little better than the pack he has escaped from, but it took him a little bit too long to get through them. And it's the toughest part of these kinds of races, I think, to be in if you're in Bo Wyatt's shoes, because in the last couple laps, Jack and Alessio, they're going to go at it. They're going to defend. They're going to go to the white line. They're going to really slow the pace down. And you want to, be as close as you possibly can for when that opens up to play spoiler and steal the win away. But that means that you've got to push with everything you've got right now, even as Hope is literally and figuratively driving off into the distance with 2 karts being better than 1. If he gets some help here, that could, change some things, but he's just got to log perfect laps, not worry about the pack behind, try to hang on as good as he can, and be as consistent as possible, no mistakes.
And I think Tosti and Katowski are well aware of the gap that they've created. And I think they've swapped the lead already, and now they're going to swap it back with Katowski taking the lead once again.
And they're just feeling each other out right now. They're not in any hurry to, make any crazy moves. And they're able to take advantage of the fact they've built up this hefty margin to the point where, there's fighting back here for 3rd. Alessio, Jack, if they want to take a couple laps out in front of the other to just kind of unsettle the other's rhythm, they can, because this is all happening and continuing to lengthen their gap over the field. Bo Wyatt still in 3rd, but it is a mad scrum for 5th now. Trey Sanders on the outside. Grayson Waite down on the bottom.
And this race is flying by. I mean, we're on lap 15 of 20.
Yeah, they're running out of laps here if they want to be able to stay within shouting distance of the leaders. There won't be a lot of time to make up for all this right here.
And you have to wonder what hand signals they're getting from, the crews up along the fence. If they're telling them, stay in line, you got to do something here, because this gap is getting pretty large. Let's see on our scoring monitor. They're about 3. The lead 2 are about 3 seconds in front of the second pack.
Yeah, it's just going to get bigger. Now, at least Tristan Francisco, you can see he has locked onto the back of Bo Wyatt. They've pulled away from what was a 7-car pack by a little. Then Charlie Skurzapowski, the podium at the IAME Grand National Championship main events, goes all the way to the top 5. There's prizes that pay down to it.
And this is what they want to see is these guys, but they're kind of leapfrogging each other, so they're working together.
Yeah, that was textbook right there. Even though they made the pass in turn 11, instantly Jack went right back and pushed Alessio. And so with both of them taking turns at each other, following the other, right, at the moment.
They're not losing much time when they do that.
No, but they're not. And they're also able to see who's stronger or weaker in different corners. If you lead the whole race, the best drivers are able to kind of tell because they'll know how quickly the car behind gets up to their bumper and feel that push or listen even. But when you're able to be right behind somebody running in their tire tracks, you can see if your go-kart's handling a little better in one turn over the other. And what you want to do is you want to make your pass on that guy right before your best section so you can pull a bit of a gap away. But again, it'll be really difficult with how good both of those drivers seem to be rolling right now for either one of them to break away in the final few laps. It's just a matter of playing the game in the last 3 corners, really. From turn 8 to turn 11 is going to decide this one, I think, with still a 3-second cushion. Now, I will say they leapfrogged in 11, and Bo Wyatt and Tristan Francisco, they have not traded a spot once. It was at a full 3 seconds. It's down to 2.9. They begin to trade that lead a little bit too early. Call it 3 to go or 4 to go because we're working 4 laps to go right now. Those 2 in 3rd and 4th, they could get close and they could really mess with them because when it's a 2-kart battle, the car behind, he doesn't have to worry about getting past. He can go as wide as he wants to set up for crossovers, try any kind of move. But at the moment 3rd place gets there, he has to equally worry about defense as he does offense. Right now, Jack Katowski, he can fully focus on offense if he waits a little more.
And let's not forget, in all the divisions this weekend, we've seen the race can be won or lost off that final corner that you see at the top of your screen when that checkered flag is waving. We saw it yesterday, one of the shootouts, the driver lost by getting spun out. We've seen a number of issues coming to that final corner as the checkered flag is waving. So you really want to have to make sure you set up that final corner for success.
And we know they're going to wait a little more. One driver looking to get it done for his first big-time win here in the IAME Grand National Championship main events, but a shootout winner, Nathan Golseth, is down on pit lane with Grace.
All right, Nate, can I ask me a little bit about how your weekend's been going so far? We haven't been able to catch up with you just yet.
It's been going up and down. We've had a good go-kart, good setup all weekend. I'm lacking a little bit. Team's putting a lot of resources into me. You get that little extra bit from myself, though.
And you had a really good performance at this race last year. How are you planning on repeating it this year?
Yeah, like I said, we have the right piece to win. I think we can go forward. Yeah, I'm really confident before this race. I think we'll be right up there for the win.
Awesome. Good luck.
Thank you.
And about perfect timing there from Grace as well, because just now they're beginning to really dance up front here, down to 2.5 seconds.
Yeah,
the delta.
They're using that defensive line, which slows, you're not getting the apex that you want into the corner, just like we're seeing right here. And I think that second pack is
it's closing.
Quickly closing. You can see them right there. If this keeps it up, I mean, they could easily catch them on this final lap.
It'll be close. They'll be down to within about a second or so when we get to the timing loop. Alessio leading the way in the black and red. Jack Katowski trying to double up. He won the shootout already with $1,000 cash. Now he's going to go way low, all the way to the bottom. Alessio with a crossover to go back up the hill, but he's not going to be able to get there.
There's that second pack.
Oh, man.
Wow, here comes Bo. 3 wide for the lead as Bo Watt takes the lead.
Oh my goodness, Bo Wyatt, what a move. Huge lead now. Katowski needing them to stay with him, but that gap is huge. Into turn 8 for the final time. Bo Wyatt has never won a main event on the national stage before. Jack Katowski covering for second. They're going to fight here to turn 9. Francisco to the outside. Oh, contact. Alessio to the inside for second, but it's a huge lead. Bo Wyatt, welcome to the winner's circle. He is going to win the IAME Grand National Championship in micro. What a way to get your first win there. Bo Wyatt never gave up hope.
I'll be interested to see that replay of that pass because they were 3 wide down that back straightaway, but just amazing how quickly that second pack was able to catch our 2 leaders once they started dicing up front.
It doesn't take a lot in the low horsepower machines when they start going low and cutting the lines. Bo Wyatt finally gets it done. It's not his first time across the line, but this one will surely stick. What a move to get your first career Micro Swift national win here at the All-Star Weekend. Team Bennick supreme in Micro Swift. Alessio Tosti able to steal second away. Jack Katowski and Alessio led the most laps, dominated. But just as we said, fighting with 2 to go, it didn't take a lot. And Bo Wyatt, Tristan Francisco kept the faith. And then right here, that heads up crossover out of 3. He was fully clear by the time they got into the bowl. Perfect move. Bo Wyatt, have yourself a Sunday morning.
That was for you. Can you tell me about that last lap?
I was just scared I was going to have to block, and I'm not very good at blocking, but I really tried to look back as much as I could and tried to see where my gap was, and it's just amazing to feel like this.
And who do you have to thank for this win today?
My dad, Bennick,
Just happy to be here?
yes,
All right, well, congratulations.
thank you.
Oh, what a race. Bo Wyatt, you can see, overwhelmed with emotions there. You never forget your first, and that one was spectacular.
And what an event to get your first win at. I mean, Trackhouse, Motorplex, we're in the backyard of all these motorsport shops, such a unique event, all the money they're giving out, just great race, great win.
A huge win for Bo Wyatt, and now a huge win potentially on tap for Maxwell Macha, who won here a year ago on the racetrack in Mini Swift, starting on the pole in KA Junior. Hurricane Trav has already struck once this weekend. He's trying to double up. He's on the outside of the front row. And on back here, a number of big names. We spoke with Nathan Golseth all the way back in the 12th spot on the grid alongside Kellen Berghofer. They've both had some rough goes in the heats to put him in the middle of the swarm. Mason Brody's shown speed. Benja Fernandez, Valentino Santillan as well. All drivers that have been in the main group. The Micro Swift set the tone there. A great finish, a clean run to the line. This one will be chaos, to say the least. 22 laps for K Junior. And a little too eager again.
Just like the Micro Swift, we're going to get them to go back around. But I will say, we've only had that happen one. We have never had it happen twice in a row in the same division. So let's not start that on a Sunday. But they usually get there one morning, then they go back, and they're usually good on the second time. So we don't want to see anyone get moved to the back because of an issue here.
And again, the front row will know that, so they might have been trying to gamesman ship each other a little bit, Travis and Maxwell, but now they know that they're under pressure a bit. They didn't like the start on the first try, so they'll have to be a little more patient. It can feel like an eternity when you're the front rows because you have to let the entire field catch up to form up behind you, so you've got to be at a crawl from here all the way down the front stretch in the run to turn number 1. So as they'll round that final turn here now. Getting ready to go green. KA Junior, Maxwell Macha, Travis Pettit underway down at turn number 1 here for the main event as they roll into the first 2 corners. Maxwell Macha with a good getaway as they rocket up the hill and head down the backstretch for the very first time. Nico Gutowski slotting into second, and they'll get up to full song down the backstretch. Not the best start for Travis Pettit there, Brett. He's slotted back in line to 5th here on the opening lap.
Yeah, Pettit's been one with speed all weekend, so surprising to see him fall back there. As you can see, oh wow, already seen defensive line jamming on the brakes, but able to save that car. As you mentioned, this one's going to be chaos, and they're starting early here. As we see, pass for the lead there.
Yeah, Maxwell back down the inside, now to the outside, and he'll lose 1, 2, 3. Here comes the train. all of them down the front stretch. Tristan Murphy now going to go to the lead down to turn number 1 with Kai Mars helping him. Nico Katowski back to third after taking the lead away. And down the backstretch they'll roll. Murphy to Kai Mars, highest we've seen the Timmy Tech Comp Kart this weekend.
Things a little organized now, everyone kind of staying in line. Again, this is 22 laps, so slightly longer than our Micro Swift main event that you just saw. And here comes Travis Pettit back to gain some of those positions that he lost on the start as he now slots back into third. So from 5th to 3rd in just 1 lap.
Yeah, he's been able to rebound nicely, and the 4-pack up front beginning to form as the pack has split a little bit. Nico Katowski at the back of it, Ashton Woon up into 5th, but now they'll shuffle Murphy back, and Kai Mars goes up to the lead as they rocket up the hill. Pettit into 2nd, and that'll connect the groups again. Woon on the move. He's going to go to 4th right here. Down the inside, Ashton Woon and the Speed Concepts Racing black and white. Taking over 4th, Murphy back to 5th. Fernandez with a phenomenal start up the board, as well as Callan Berghofer up a couple.
Here.
But we got one in the wall. That is the 877 Ty Morovich, as Travis Pettit takes the lead in turn 8.
I knew that wasn't going to take long when he got dropped back to 5th. He's had the speed all weekend long, and we'll see if he's able to put together the full package and get this win, but still a long way to go. Just 19 laps still on the board.
And Travis Pettit will put lap 3 in the books. So like you said, it's a long ways ahead. You don't know where exactly. At some point, you anticipate the lead group to kind of break away. Now it seems to be about 5 deep. Back to Cade Wolf in 6. He's got Lucas Dreibel behind him. But they're about 7/10 away from the leaders. And Travis Pettit, who has been the gold standard on the regular weekend thus far, already with the K shootout win out in front, and that's going to have the field behind puckering a little bit, because that pass there by Nico Katowski gave him a little bit of a car length lead as they roll out of turn number 9.
Yeah, you don't want to let Pettit get away. We've seen that happen a couple times this weekend. He's able to easily extend the lead with the cart that he has under him. Really working hard on that this weekend. And conditions right now are actually matching kind of what we had yesterday around this same time for warm-ups and the heats that we had. As you can see, they snake down the back straightaway. No one ducking out in this lead group. Kind of all staying in line again. Don't want one driver to get a huge lead here so early on in this event.
And down into the hairpin, Nico Katowski, Travis Pettit. They've worked together pretty well in the handful of times they have been near each other so far this weekend. But Travis was a little bit wide there, a rare mistake out of Pettit.
Doesn't look like anyone's able to capitalize just yet. We'll see what happens down this front straightaway to the line. They all stay in line, except we see a pass back there. That is the 8-11 of Tristan Murphy slotting into the 4th position. Now there's a little bit of a gap. He wants them to stay in line behind them.
And now, just with that one mistake in turn 9, it's brought Wolf and Maxwell Macha back up into play. Lucas Dreibel's a little bit further back here. Wolf now going to go for 5th on Ashton Woon to the inside. Macha trying to follow him into turn 9, but he couldn't quite get ahead, and he'll have to tuck back in. And that'll bring Dreibel into play. Nathan Golseth on the way now. Macha teeing up for a move maybe in 11 while the leaders stay single file. Did he get it? Yes, he did. Maxwell up another one. Front row starter, Maxwell Macha moving up the board. Lucas Dreibel trying to follow. Couldn't quite get it done on the moon there in turn 1. And that's going to bring Golseth and Berghofer, who continue to roll. They were as fast as the leaders last time by, but again, the leaders have settled down now here as we've gotten a few laps under our belt, Brett. And again, Nico and Travis, they've worked really well together. They trust each other obviously a lot. You're not seeing Travis defend at all. Nico is not showing a nose to the inside like he wants to pass him. He's in no hurry at this point, so he's happy to ride behind him and whittle down this lead group, because the moment they pass, it's a 2/10, 3/10 blow, and it brings more drivers back in. If they stay like this for the next 10 to 12 laps, they could easily make it a 2-kart race. They've already dropped it down to just 4.
Yeah, similar to what we saw in the Marco Swift event, they could easily, as you mentioned, make it down into a 2-kart race, but then on that last lap, if they start mixing it up, they easily could bring that pack back with them. But as hard as they're trying to make this a 2-horse race, the drivers Kai Mars and Tristan Murphy, in third and fourth are not letting them get away.
No, they're trying to keep it honest here. And again, if you're Tristan Murphy, you've got no caboose behind you to push you forward. So you can't make any mistake. Whereas anyone in the front of that group, if they have a little wobble, there's a go-kart right behind them to push them back forward and keep them in the lead group.
Looks like Maxwell Macho was able to grab that 5th position. He wants to tag on to this group of 4, have a fight for the win as these laps wind down later on. We're still only on lap 9 right now of 22.
Yeah, there's still so much time to let things kind of play out here as they roll down the backstretch. Maxwell Macha, 1 full second away. He's got Cade Wolf, a loyal pusher, it looks like, behind him. He's just banking on 1 pass. All he needs is 1 move up front. And then he'll be right there, but he's not getting any bit of it.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like those front 4 are content to ride just like they are right now in a line of 4. And they want to see how far they can make that gap, but it's kind of maintained to a degree. They're not extending it to a huge lead so far, but actually they may prove me wrong on this pass here. As you can see, there goes Nico Katowski to make that move back up to the front. But like we said, leapfrog kind of there, so Travis Pettit smartly just gets back in line, and they're able to maintain the distance they have between the second group of Maxwell Macha and Cade Wolf.
And of the drivers that started further back in terms of forward progress, biggest mover so far has been Lawrence Perriman, all the way back in the 12th position. There's just not been too much chaos, so when you see the up and down movement, Nathan Golseth obviously up 5, Cade Wolf up 3, Kai Mars up 3. Further back, Callan Berghofer up a couple from 11th in that second pack. Macha's actually started to drop Cade Wolf away. In fact, Maxwell by himself right now is tracking as fast as the leaders. Look at this lap time, 49.57 for the leaders, pushing 49.48 for Maxwell Macha. In a draft-dependent class like K Junior, this is almost unheard of. Maxwell Macha closing the gap towards the leaders, and he is down now within 9/10 of a second of the back of the pack as they roll through turn number 4. So this is a great march here for Maxwell as he continues to push towards that lead pack here at the halfway point. But Nico Katowski and Travis Pettit continue to show the way thus far here in K Junior, around halfway in towards this 22-lap main.
And what Macha wants is, I'm interested to see once Macha gets up to that lead pack. As you can see, they've broken apart just a little bit, but he's right there. He definitely has a sniff of that draft of that lead group there, as you see the cross flags. Halfway home in this main event, 2 by 2 for first and second, third and fourth, and then you see Macha by himself back in 5th.
And so with the way the packs have split out here in this kind of waiting game up front, Nico Katowski, Travis Pettit. Oh no, Lawrence Perriman has pounded the wall down at turn number 4.
We just talked about him, highest mover. Now all those positions, he's probably going to drop back to, I believe, last.
Yeah, he'll drop all the way down to 24th. It was a valiant effort there driving up the field. He was running with Holden Myers and Achilles Saperco. I don't know if we were able to get another look at that or if we had it, but he was running in that group from 12th to 14th last lap. Meanwhile, for the lead, Travis Pettit now to the front. Nico Katowski back to second. Tristan Murphy still there in third. And that one move has brought Macha ever closer, now only 3 car lengths away. Behind him, battle for 6. Nathan Golseth's forward progress from 12th on the grid. Callan Berghofer from 11th. Picking off Cade Wolf now, all 3 of them. And Ashton Woon has his teammate in front. We'll see if they can make some forward progress, because they obviously were not really cutting into the gap. The last lap by for that second group, a 49.7, the leaders of 49.5, so they had to change something because it wasn't working there. They gave up 2/10.
Yeah, Macha's there on this lead group, and let's remember this is a special event, so you're not going to really get much for finishing in 6th. No championship points being awarded. So it's all about getting down this podium here today.
And he'll move one spot higher with that move. Up to fourth now for Macha, getting by Kai Mars on the white helmet there in the Timmy Tech Comp Kart. And that was, again, going to back them up a little bit towards Golseth's group. Let's see what he can do now with his first lap in the lead of them. That lap making the pass, he did a 71. Set on the grid there, he felt like the go-kart is certainly there. The SCR crew under the tutelage of multi-time national champ Austin Garrison.
Yeah,
Ashton Woon.
Garrison has experience here. Last year he was fighting for the win here, always on the podium, so that's a good driver to have on your team supporting you.
Yeah, one of the all-time greats of his generation, Austin Garrison, retiring from full-time action at the end of last season. And he said he's really enjoyed getting to work with the young kids, the next generation. Speed Concepts Racing, of course, the Speed family. Mike Speed, Alex Speed. Alex's brother Scott Speed's, of course, a famous household name in motorsports, helping with the Chevy development program, road course specifically. After all of the accolades he's accrued, and of course Mike and Alex, their resumes speak for themselves. Mario Lafredo and the entire group at SCR, a stacked group that have gotten both of their drivers now almost towards the lead pack, and they're going to get some help as they continue to mix it up. Tristan Murphy, Brian Perry Motorsport out in front here, their home race. The Tennessee native now out in front over Katowski. Maxwell Macha continuing to march forward.
As the laps wind down, I think we're going to start seeing more and more moves here in this lead group.
Just
Tristan
like last
Murphy.
race, that second group's just got to stay patient, just got to hold the line. You know they're going to fight for the lead. 5 is a huge crowd up front here. Anything can happen.
They could go 3 wide and easily that second pack, just like in the micro event. Micro Swifts, we could easily see the second group catch up here.
So it is 7 laps to go. Tristan Murphy. He has been wicked fast in both X30 and KA Junior this weekend, but he has not yet gotten a win to show for it on track. He got awarded the win last night in that X30 shootout, but he finished second. He wants to be able to celebrate this one across the line, but he's got Katowski looking for the lead again. Nico back out front, coming to 6 to go. The fighting continues. Further back, they've swapped 6. Woon to the front of the pack. Murphy right back at Katowski with help from Macha.
We were just talking about this, the second pack. Oh, wow. This second pack probably is going to start catching up as they're really dicing it up, running over curbs.
That was Macha with an aggressive dive. He had finally just gotten to the lead. He had it for about 50 feet down the backstretch. Katowski back to the front. Pettit into third.
And you have to wonder, are some of these drivers in the lead pack, are they thinking this is too early to be dicing it up like this? But Pettit definitely, I mean, they all want the win, but Pettit's been strong. He wants something to show for it, a trophy as well as a check at the end of these next 5 or so laps here.
4 laps, or 5 laps to go now. 17 in the books. Maxwell Macha to the lead. He doesn't want to give it up. Travis Pettit back to the inside. Katowski now following suit to second. And Macha will get thrown to the wayside, all the way back to 5th. Here comes that second pack, ever closer. They're going to get a sniff of the draft now down the back straightaway. Kai Mars back in the mix again, up to 3rd.
We're going to have a heck of a race here. Any one of these top 7 drivers could come home with the win here. Still plenty of time on this long racetrack that we have here with coming to 4 to go. Things organized out for now. I'm sure that's not going to stay that way, especially when we come down this straight. We see the front 2 starting to create a little bit of a gap here.
Yeah, with all of that back for 3rd now. Travis Pettit and Nico Katowski have a chance to break away again as Cade Wolf moves past Callan Berghofer for the 8th spot. 9 deep if they can reconnect the dots again with 4 laps remaining. Nico Katowski at this point, he's got a huge opportunity in front of him if he can push Travis Pettit and wait a little bit longer. If Travis can keep the faith, seeing that it's a red Bureau Art behind him, that they could work together like they did in the early stages of this race and try to keep that pack from 3rd onwards from getting there.
They're just buying their time, it looks like, as the laps are clicking away. We're going to be coming this time by with 3 laps to go. And looks like he's going to stay in line. Nico Katowski's going to stay in line, but that second group still latched on pretty well, especially Maxwell Macha was able to go back from 5th up to 3rd now.
And as they go down the backstretch again, 3 laps to go. Maxwell Macha willed his way to the front when he was back in 5th to catch the 4-pack. He's doing the same right here in 3rd. Fastest go-kart on the racetrack. Fast lap of the race to boot. Headed into the infield. Macha closing down.
And I think patience is probably about to go out the window here for these drivers, as we're going to come to 2 laps to go. And again, money on the line, no championship points. Such a great event.
Maxwell Macha shaved off 3/10 last lap, even with the leaders pushing. Travis Pettit's giving up now. He's going to defend.
Here we go.
Here comes everybody. They're all in it. Macha up the hill is going to set up for a crossover. He'll get a huge run at Katowski. He'll go to the bottom. He's got a nose for second. Kai Mars to the high side. Katowski's going to try and rip the outside lane as well. It'll keep him in second. He'll fend off Macha for now. But that's got them all 9 deep up front. This is a huge gaggle of them. Berghofer almost back to him. Valentino Santillan started way back. He's almost there. Katowski all the way to the bottom. He takes over the lead.
Katowski with a great move on the high side in that sweeping corner. That hasn't worked all weekend.
It kept him in second, and now he was able to get to the front in turn 8, and they're 2 by 2. 1 lap to go. Murphy over the curbing. Pettit crossover. Travis Pettit with the nose out front. Here comes the pack. They'll push him all the way down to turn number 1.
Like I said, that last turn, watch that coming up on this final lap. You could win or lose your race there. We just saw passes can easily be made on that last corner.
Oh, this is where everything really comes to a head. Nearly 3 wide into the bowl. Pettit holding them all back. Katowski up the berm along with Mars. It's going to come down to these 4, I think. Katowski back into 5th ahead of Golset. Last time into turn 8. Pettit to the low side. Murphy to the high side. Tristan Murphy trying to go around the outside. Maxwell Macha with a nose down to the outside for 9. Pettit's got them all. Macha up high. Still there. Still there. Still in the runoff. Keeping the speed up. He's going to be close. He'll try to cross over again to the outside. Pettit's got them all at bay. And it'll be Travis Pettit striking again. He wins both shootout in Maine in KA Junior.
What a finish. Like I said, I feel like I'm being spoiled with this amazing racing we've seen all weekend. Not only is it a great event, but this track is so conducive to these great races that we've seen.
Awesome stuff in KA Junior. Travis Pettit hangs on, defends perfectly in that last turn. Was able to get them to go side by side for second, so Macha couldn't cross him over, and Maxwell had to stay on the outside. He hangs on. Nico Katowski sneaks onto the podium there in 3rd. Murphy 4th. Ashton Woon able to get the final spot on the box in 5th ahead of Golset.
Look at those intervals between our 1st and 9th position.
Oh, incredible. How about Valentino Santillan? I mean, he wasn't even in that pack. He got there the last hour, the last second. He gets 2 spots at the end there to get to 8th. Great stuff in
and you know
KA
what?
Junior.
Nothing, no offs or any accidents in that final 2 laps as they were dicing it up. So great job by all those drivers. You can see the excitement out of Travis Pettit.
Travis Pettit, a KA sweep for you this weekend. Talk to me about those last few laps there.
Yeah, I mean, me and Nico kind of pulled away, and I saw at the end they were catching a little bit. So when I saw 2 to go, I know I had to defend. So defended, pulled it off, and yeah, it feels good.
And who do you have to thank for this victory today?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Rolison Performance Group, my mom, my dad, my family watching at home. Coach Ben from the U Movement, he's great, helps me a lot. And I want to thank my mechanic, Aiden, for putting this beast of a kart together. And I want to also thank Tap Racing's Engines for making an absolute missile of an engine for this weekend.
And should we expect to see this performance again in X30?
Oh, yeah.
Let's see it happen.
Thank you.
Travis Pettit gets to celebrate here with 1 win for just a little bit. And then after the lunch break, he's back out on track, as Grace mentioned, to try and go 2 for 2 on today's main events in the junior ranks with the X30 final. But Travis Pettit victorious in KA Junior. A phenomenal race to the end and the fastest lap. P2 for a solid run. Maxwell Macho.
Yeah, Max, you had some really strong racing during that race back there. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, Nico passed me, and then all the trouble started to happen, and then I just fighted my way back and tried to get first, but it didn't happen, so probably next year I could do it, so pretty happy.
But you still did a really good performance there, and who do you have to thank for all the coaching that you've gotten?
Marco, my coach, Crivelli for making this awesome engine, Ben, the team owner, for helping me in every race, and my mom and dad.
Well, great job.
Thank you.
And we'll let the scale line begin to roll. Short break in the on-track activity, folks. We'll be back on track with more from the IAME Grand National Championship on the other side. It'll be 40. It'll be a huge grid, 40-plus correction for the KA seniors as they get set to roll. But for now, KA Junior all wrapped up. Travis Pettit victorious in main event number 2 from Sunday.
Hi, I'm Jackson with Alpha Race Hub. Alpha is an all-in-one motorsports software solution that can solve all the software problems you need for your track, facility, or series. Alpha can cover all your software bases, from online registration, digital e-waivers, a proprietary timing and scoring software, incident management, automated points tabulation, tire and barcode scanning. We even have our own mobile timing app and rental cart activity management software. If you're looking to consolidate your motorsports software solutions, reach out to us at alphatiming.co.uk.
Hey guys, another Kart Chaser Driver Fitness episode with me, Chris G. Today, I'm going to show you how to protect those ribs in the seat. We're doing core. Exercise number 1 is the bench leg raise. Controlled all the way down, full range of motion. Make sure you pick up that tailbone off the pad. Coming down, controlling. Great for the lower abdomen area and obliques. Floor slider mountain climbers, exercise number 2. Exercise number 3, the plate-loaded decline bench sit-up. I'll see you guys on the next episode of Chris G Coaching, race-ready training that carries into real life. That's what we do.
Champions aren't just born on the kart track. At SimShop, we deliver professional-grade simulators with the best performance-to-price ratio in the industry. Founded by racers who understand what you need, our SimMagic and Moza equipment is powerful enough for the pros, yet affordable for everyone. With unmatched customer support and a thriving community, we're your racing partner. Visit simshop.com today.
Gee, looks like we're missing the engine. What the hell am I supposed to tap?
What do you mean? It's my Greyhound. It's all I need.
Where's the rest of it?
doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
He's gonna make weight. Okay, you're good.
Sitting by here with Kyle, our race winner. Tell me how you did it. You were blazing fast out there, and I mean, you don't even have a go-kart, man. Tell me about it.
Yeah, you know, Norberg, Schmorberg, the Greyhound, powered Greyhound was great today. You know, it makes the difference. And the team's been working really hard back at the shop, and, you know, just shout out Greyhound.
Thank you, Kyle.
How the f did you just win?
Doesn't matter. It's a Greyhound.
engines are fired back up. We're back to life here. KA 100 Senior ready to go green for the IAME Grand National Championship main event. 40 deep here for the main event. 43 in total should be slated to take the green flag. James Overbeck on the outside of his teammate Paulie Massimino. They have split every race session in the class, all but one since we dropped the green on Friday afternoon. Enzo Vidmontien, Colin Lloyd, Joe Turney, Jared Clark, Brandon Lemke, Alexander Vanchev, Aiden Levy, Weston Workman, the top 10 starters. And the list just goes on from there with so much talent through the field. There are easily 15 drivers that could score the win. The further back we go in the grid, the names are still going to have speed, but the harder it'll be to get through turn one and to be in shouting distance of the leaders. But if there's anything we've learned in our first two races, Brett, it's all going to come down to that last lap, and you're never fully out of it if you're within sighting distance of the leaders.
Or as we saw last night in the shootout, the first lap, you know, they had one car go down the middle, and 3 drivers were taken out of it. So we have 43 karts on the track. This turn 1, turn 2.
It's
get
going to
ready.
be wild.
Yeah.
You can't win the race in turn 1, but you can certainly lose it. We have one kart a little bit further back. Looks like Mason Kuhn is trying to hustle to get up to the field, so they'll have to send them around again as they group up.
But also, if you're a driver like Mason, we saw in a couple of the races yesterday, there's a big wreck. He could easily move up 20 positions in one lap.
Yeah, I was talking with Cale earlier in the weekend about how, you know, even when you start further back, you know you're kind of throwing a Hail Mary at it and you're hoping that some chaos happens in front of you. But it certainly could with this many go-karts on track. Again, they were all split in half evenly, so you've doubled the amount of drivers at similar speed, similar pace, right? Basically every pack that we saw in the heats and the super heat, now multiply it by 2. And that's that many go-karts close together. You're asking for a little bit of contact and eventually someone or multiple drivers having their races ended early. So you've got to survive the start. You've got to survive this opening lap. They're going to do everything they can to keep them all nice and neat and tidy. The fence is lined. This is the race here with the biggest grid. It is the second biggest payout of the 6 divisions. The headliner of the 100cc categories, KA Senior, 22 laps, and we're underway down to turn number 1. And already one off. Weston Workman having to take the cut through. One or two more.
You hate to see that for Weston. He had a horrible shootout on Friday and not much better to get started with this main event here on Sunday.
Yeah, not a great start for Weston Workman as the field rolls through the infield section for the first time. Paulie Massimino with the early lead, Overbeck second, Vidmontien third, and he's going to try and split up the teammates. He'll go right up the inside in turn 8. Colin Lloyd on that Velocity Racing Sodi kart, the black and orange, sits 4th. Joe Turney, 5th here on the outlap. Jared Clark, 6th. Vanchev, Brandon Lemke, Caleb Gaffera, and then Connor Ferris. The top 10 as they round turn 11. We'll put one down. 21 to go as we settle in here for K Senior. A huge train of them all coming down the front straightaway.
Joe Turney in the top 5. I feel like he's hungry for a win here this weekend. He's come so close in so many of the shootouts. We'll see if he's able to put together this full package today. 22 laps to get it done.
Enzo Vidmontien not wasting any time as he takes over the lead in the bowl. Paulie able to slip back in front of his teammate there to second. But the SLA car racing driver, he's under pressure and he is not wanting to give that lead up. Paulie's not wanting to give him a chance to stay there as they're 3 wide. Vidmontien now going to shuffle to the inside as Overbeck's hung out to dry on the outside. Turney up the inside for 5th. And Colin Lloyd takes over 2nd. And they cover off the inside lane here. And that'll stack everyone neat and tidy down the front stretch. 5-car break, back to Lemke. Vidmontien wanting to quickly go back up the board. He'll go past Lloyd there for 2nd. Further onward, the fighting continues up the hill.
Vanchev losing some spots there. He's been strong all weekend, just 15 years old, the rookie, racing with some of these veterans in the sport.
Yeah, you've got a lot of experience in the top 4 spots. Then Enzo Vidmontien on his 2nd year in senior in 5th. Jared Clark, his 2nd year. He's got 1 win to his name at his home race for the Stars Queen City Gambit last year. He's hot off a very close call and a scary moment 2 weeks ago at that same event. He's fighting for the win, got drove into the grass, nailed one of the feather flags, and destroyed the rear end of the go-kart. He's at a much better IAME Grands this year around than last year. He's in the hunt here at the end of the first few laps as a number of warning flags are given.
This is where you don't want to be, is back here in this mess. I guess they're learning as much as they can back there as we go back to our lead duo here, or our lead pack. Still a long line of karts. I believe at least, let's see, the first 10 to 12 are all lined up. No one really getting away here early on in this KA100 senior main event. Paulie Massimino has been dominating all weekend. Did not get the shootout win last night, though. The kids kind of took over there and showed him how it's done. So we'll see if he's able to get the win here today as he has his teammate behind him.
And Joe Turney now up to third, but like you said, teammates with a little gap, and the fighting is on back for the end of the top 10. Brandon Lemke trying to hang on. Christopher McKeithen up the inside. Vanchev in the middle of that mix as well.
Looks like the teammates are going to try and work together. Paulie Massimino, James Overbeck work together, try to create a gap between them and the rest of this 43-car field.
And Joe Turney closing in, trying to mitigate that. Now Jared Clark has broken free from this fray at the back of the top 10. Aiden Levy has carved his way up the group. Connor Ferris able to get by on Christopher McKeithen there. Picks up a spot. We'll round turn 11 here again. 4 complete down the front straightaway, make it 5. Now 17 laps to go. McKeithen under fire. Vanchev wanting to go. The whole pack tightening up behind him. And look at the big names further back. Oh, Jeremy Fletcher, Danny Perez in front of the field.
Wow, that could have been a lot worse. They both got away with, I don't think, any damage. Just attached wheels there, both able to continue on, it looks like. Back up front, you can see Joe Turney turning up the heat a little bit here on the tail of James Overbeck. Obviously, like I mentioned, Turney looking for a win this weekend. Obviously, if you're going to get a win, why not do it in the main event on Sunday?
He's got a good look here, closing in on the top 2. He has tracked them down over the last few laps. This lap will be a big one for JT, and it will not be the fastest of the race still. In fact, the quick time is all the way down the board. Blake Nash starting from the rear of the field in 24th, actually right in the middle of the Hornet's Nest. He's up to 18th.
Yeah, Blake Nash has had a quiet weekend. Not really the weekend I think that he was hoping for.
He's way back there as the top 4 have a little bit of separation here in the early going. Massimino to Overbeck to Turney to Vidmontien. Enzo was very eager early to go by, and these 3 have kind of almost forced Enzo by passing him back and shuffling him down the pack, and then not passing amongst themselves to calm down a bit and saying, hey, rookie, or sophomore now, we've got time. Let's get away from everybody else. You're welcome to hang with us if you got the speed to ride, but we're not trying to fight it out and measure egos here for the lead this early. They're going to try and break away, and they have done just that. You can see it's 9/10 to Clark and more Pearl Blacks further away.
Yeah, I was about to say, in the mid to backpack, you can see Joe Turney looks like he's going to take the lead here.
No, that's Overbeck.
Oh, I'm
James
sorry, Overbeck.
Going by on Paulie Massimino, the 2 PJR blue and white machines. Turney there in the red and black MPG Kart Republic.
And the teammates were able to stick together. I'm surprised. I thought Turney was going to take the position away from Massimino when he was on the outside there.
But again, that puts him back on the inside into 5 and that single file bottleneck. The more that, again, the field behind goes 2 by 2 in the bowl, it'll kind of clear a path in that second lane. And that will get better as the track continues to bake into sunshine over the course of the day. So as we put another lap in, 8 laps now completed of the 22. Caleb Gaffera on the move, started 13th. He's now gotten past Jared Clark for that 5th position in that duo behind the leaders. Last night on the box in the X30 shootout, close to going back-to-back in the night race $5,000 payday. But he's still got a check already. He's trying to get into the money here in KA Senior. That pays down to 5th, and he wants to get a little better than that. He's got some speed in that JHTD Tony Kart. He's pulling a little bit from Jared Clark. And last time by, while there was a pass made with Overbeck going by on Pauly, they still had a pretty clean lap, and they only did a 49.65. Gafera did a 49.57. Let's see what this lap is. 49.54 for Overbeck, 49.51, another couple hundreds. Every inch counts at this stage in the race of getting into that 8/10 window off the back of Enzo Vidmontien. Gafera can almost taste the lead.
I was going to say Gafera's up 8 positions, so good drive from outside the top 10 to get into the top 5. Just a little bit off that draft of the lead group. All they need to do is start dicing it up in the next 12 laps before the checkered flag waves, and he'll be right in this race for the win.
And we know that, again, they're going to dice it up at the end. But for now, while James Overbeck's taken over from Pauly Massimino, nobody in the group has been wanting to challenge him yet. They've been content to ride behind the number 948. Gives us plenty of time to continue to give updates of where the rest of the major contenders have fallen or risen through the field. Aiden Levy won here 3 weeks ago at the U.S. Pro Kart Series in a heated battle with Pauly Massimino. There's Weston Workman as well, as we see Pauly go to the lead down here in turn 4. Shane Reddy setting the fast time. Turney trying once again to split him up, but he just couldn't get far enough ahead of James and then had to back out because, again, that chicane at turn 5 quickly bottlenecks him and funnels him down, forces him almost to single file with how tight the line is to get through.
Yeah, Overbeck and Massimino teammates clearly know what they're doing, clearly had a plan maybe going into this event that they were going to work together when they were starting on the front row near the front of the field. But you have to wonder when those teammate orders or teammate camaraderie goes out the window as we get more laps ticked away here.
Yeah, most of the time you'll see that wait until the very last possible second, if that. I think both of them, they've already won a number of races here in K100 senior national level competition. I think they would be equally happy if either one of them came out with the win. And they are controlling the race here out front while Turney rides in third, Vidmontien in fourth. Gafera still trying to inch his way towards the lead. Jared Clark, their teammate as well, the same back in sixth. Aiden Levy's group here, pretty deep, and a number of fast drivers in it. Levy in seventh, equally fast to the top 4. And that whole group comprises the fastest lap with Shane Reddy, Brandon Lemke, Alexander Vanchev, McKeithen, Connor Ferris, AJ Myers, Victor De Alencar. Myers right now, it looks like he's not tracking on the pylon. He is out there, and I think there might be one bit of a transponder issue for AJ, so keep that in mind. Driver in the white suit and the red and black car just flirting by there ahead of Shane Reddy. So AJ Myers currently 13th, Shane Reddy currently 14th, as a note to the viewers at home. But halfway in, 12 down, 10 to go here, and we're still just kind of playing a bit of the waiting game as the field strings out. We have to go all the way back to here for our next pass. First one in a moment. Brandon Lemke making the move stick on... I
think that was Vanchev there.
Indeed, Alexander Vanchev.
And Lemke's had an eventful weekend so far. Again, not the weekend I think he was hoping for. He was actually out on the pit lane last night watching some of the shootout action. And he's back in 11th right now, so a little bit of work to do if he wants to get up to those 3 that you see at the front right now. You can see fields fairly spread out, these front 15 or so.
And this is the tough part. I mean, for someone like Shane Reddy starting 17th, Perkins starting 18th, Max Christea, you just saw him make a move there in the MPG Kart Republic way back. He started all the way in 26th, and Blake Nash in 24th. They've both got speed. Nash once again reset fast time. Christea was faster or even to the leaders the last few laps, but if they're not getting any movement up front, they're not going to get there. And I don't think we're going to see it. In fact, they're starting to drop Enzo Vidmontien. The 950 is losing touch ever so slightly with the top 3 here in the later going of this main event for KA Senior. Blake Nash with another move as the charge continues. That's on Victor De Alencar in the white suit and the blue and yellow Evolution Motorsport livery. Here's Christea with another pass. Cash Perkins going to let him have it. Very easy going. Cash kind of let him go on that one there. Almost let him get back up into line going into the bowl. This is a valiant effort here for Max Christea. fast lap trading back and forth with Blake Nash, cracking the top 15 now, and they're going to get to this group right here that is going to make things difficult to get all the way up to the lead because they're duking it out. Myers, Lloyd, there's Reddy to the inside. Shane Reddy trying to get past Lloyd, following suit with AJ. He will get her done. And we'll put another lap in the books as Caleb Gaffera now closes up to Vidmontien, who makes a small carburetor adjustment down the front stretch. 7 to go.
Yeah, we saw them giving plenty of room back there. You would hope you're not going to be knocking tires for in a championship, all-star event for 15th place. Kind of just learn what you can while you're out there. No use of, what they call it, wrecking for last in a championship event.
Yeah. No, you want to just do everything possible to either go forward or mitigate the bleeding in terms of time lost if you do have someone trying to pass you. But there's so much track position that plays into it. I mean, you can see here 2x2 for 8th and 9th. There's still obviously a factor of pride. They're racing to try and finish as high as they can. There's so many factors, penalties, post-race tech infractions, and of course we're still waiting for the battle for the lead to open up. So being further ahead, if you're the first guy to it, you're going to be able to pick your own path through it all. Max Christea now in the mix of this group as he pulls alongside McKeithen trying to continue the march.
Yeah, they are for sure racing back there as our leaders our top 3 stay nose to tail.
There's Lemke with a move on Connor Ferris.
We've seen some great passing in that sweeping corner here this weekend. I mean, there's so many passing sections on Trackhouse Motorplex.
Oh, looking back that second group there, that was Jared Clark having to get really aggressive on Enzo Vidmontien. Caleb Gaffera was able to get past him for 4th, and now Jared Clark moves by, and Vidmontien just continuing to fade. A deflating emotion, I'm sure, underneath the helmet of the 950 because he was right there with these 3, and the speed has just fallen off as they have continued to go faster.
That must
5
be,
to go.
It must be so frustrating to see them, like I mentioned earlier, just get farther and farther, smaller and smaller in front of you, and there's nothing you can do. Because like we mentioned, you have what you have. There's no breaks for adjustments like we've been seeing all weekend long. This is, just a heads-up race.
Max Christea picked off another one. That was on Shane Reddy. He's up to 11th now from 26th on the grid. Max Christea rolling in his MPG Motorsports Kart Republic. His teammate here, Joe Turney, just riding, taking his time. Caleb Gaffera, equally frustrating to Enzo Vidmontien's case because Caleb has been stuck just outside the drafting window of the top 3 for nearly this entire main event. He is banking on them fighting up front at the very end, and he has not gotten a single pass for the lead, not even one for second in about the last 10 laps. And so he's just losing ever so slightly out to him on pace, being by himself while they're able to run together. Jared Clark, having gone by Vidmontien, hasn't broken away, and then back here, another move. AJ Myers to the inside of Vanchev, as the RPG driver now is going to slip outside the top 10.
Yeah, Vanchev, should not hang his head about his performance here today or this weekend. I mean, he's 15 years old. He, like I said, last night in the shootout, finished in 2nd position. Definitely learned a lot here this weekend. Really strong. He'll be one of the future stars of the sport for sure.
And again, that's where you got to manage the expectations. He's already gotten wins in this class, wins in X30 Pro at earlier events on the national calendar. To have that much success that early in your first foray up and into the pro ranks, it's tough because then you enter every weekend with that same expectation. And sometimes it's just not quite there. It's just not quite your day. Right now, running 11th. He'll still have a good shot in X30 Pro. Max Christea sending one down the inside on him there. And it looked like he got the job done. That'll push Vanchev down to 12th, Christea up to 11th. And again, AJ Myers currently runs in the 10th spot, albeit no transponder showing on his name. He's right behind Connor Ferris, a couple car lengths away. This group here, Brandon Lemke, Aiden Levy, feeling probably like if a few more cards would have been dealt their way earlier in the weekend, they could be in that lead group. Their speed certainly is rock solid. 49.2s. The leaders are only in the 49.4s. So they're faster. That group, Lemke and Levy. Lemke owns the fast time. They're quicker than the top 3 at this stage in the race, but it's 2 laps to go. There has not been a single move of defense, not a single pass attempt yet from James Overbeck on Massimino or Turney on Pauly.
Lemke's probably hoping instead of 22 laps, they would have made this a 40-lap event. That probably would have given him a chance to see there's a pass.
James Overbeck in the gold helmet to the lead. Turney crosses over both of them, pulls alongside in a 9. Stuck on the outside. These three have raced against each other very cleanly all weekend. Paulie and Joe have a lot of experience going wheel to wheel, but James has never really been in this position to go head to head with the best in North America, the best American driver at the moment, Paulie Massimino, and the #1 ranked driver in the world, Joe Turney. 1 to go. Overbeck trying to hang on as he parks the bus up to 3, but he washes out wide. Paulie with a nose down low for the lead. Turn 4, and Turney follows suit. Here comes Gaffera.
Joe Turney able to split those teammates up.
Oh, watch this. He crosses over Paulie almost into 7. Final time down to 8. Paulie covering, Turney following, Gaffera stuffing Overbeck for 3rd. I don't even think James knew he was still there. He'll go to the dirt. Now to 9. Turney to the outside. Gaffera over unders all the way up to 2nd. Running Turney wide. He'll be a little bit back here. This will be a Hail Mary if he tries it. Paulie covering. And once again, oh no, he clipped the curb. Here comes Caleb. Drag race to the line. Massimino holds.
Wow. What a finish. Gaffera up 11 positions, almost taking that win. What a charge through the field.
Oh my goodness, Paulie Massimino. The only blemish I think we've seen out of him in years on the last lap, and just barely wins out of the race to the line.
Look at that gap at the line.
12 thousandths of a second.
We may need a start-finish camera next year so we can get a photo of that. Wow, what a finish.
What a way to end it off here in K Senior. A heck of a fight, but Paulie supreme again here at Paulie's house. Another $4,000 in the bank for that KA Senior main event win. Caleb Gaffera in the money for the 2nd consecutive day. Joe Turney on the box in 3rd. How about Jared Clark sneaking his way up there at the last second too? He was able to get the better of his teammate in Overbeck.
Yeah, heartbreaker for Overbeck. I mean, he was up in the front 2 the whole race, drops back to 5th in the final results.
Here's a look at the rest of the field as they cross the line. Colin Lloyd slips back to the 16th. Actually, I believe 17th spot. Incredible charge forward from Max Christea and Blake Nash, almost to the top 10. But Paulie Massimino by 12 thousandths, your winner in KA Senior.
No. He does it again. I'll let him celebrate with his teammates. Paulie, tell me, what were you thinking on that final lap? Did you know that Caleb had caught up to you? And did you know about all the people behind you? What were you thinking?
No, really, I thought it was just me, James, and Joe. And, I probably should have closed the door with 2 to go, but I didn't. And I got put back in 2nd. So luckily, Joe kind of stayed patient behind me. James went down to defend in 3 a little bit, and it was just enough for myself to get the crossover. And then from there, just blocked the whole way, and then the last corner I nipped the curb, and I thought I threw away the race. So, but good job to Caleb, good job to all these guys. It was a good, clean, hard race, in my opinion. This BBS LN BJR package was unreal this weekend in KA, even in X30, but this package is phenomenal. So, thank you to Offset, Nexet, Wiggity Wayne, Odenthal. Who else am I missing here?
Make sure we get all the sponsors.
Yeah, I don't really know who else. BBS, obviously, Apex Apparel. But yeah, my mechanic, my dad, for working his tail off this weekend, and everybody else under the tent, Aiden, Brandon, all those guys. Can't do it without them.
And this is a pretty common sight to see you winning here at Trackhouse, but specifically with this race, what does it mean to you to be on top?
Yeah, it feels great. Obviously, there's some money involved, but it's always good to kind of defend your home turf a little bit. Obviously, Caleb's from here as well, so it's pretty cool for us to finish 1-2. Him and I have been friends since he was a little baby, so it looks a little bad now, but I remember he used to be in Kid Kart, and so it's good to have that result between us two, and I'm glad it worked out the way it did.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're gonna hand it down to Caleb G back here. Caleb, what were you thinking on that final lap? Was it all or nothing for you?
I mean, yeah, in a way. I mean, started 13th. I was just trying to come through the field. I was like, all right, we're for sure guaranteed a podium spot right here as long as we don't crash. And I was like, all right, just going to try to work my way forward. And I saw them start battling. I was like, all right, just got to pick and play what I want to do because, I mean, it's me and Paulie's turf. So, like, we kind of know what to do. And I was like, well, I'm just going to sit there and wait for them to do something. When they went wide, I got underneath them, and I was right behind Paulie going to the last corner. I was like, well, I'm just going to try to go for an over-under. And I did. Thank you, Joe, for the push. But fortunately, couldn't get all the way there. 12 thousandths to the line. But I can't thank the Josh Holtz boys enough. Rasmus for getting the engines dialed. We'll be there for the next one.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Macron Motorsports builds champions every day, drivers who won on the world stage. The Tillotson T4 Series is pure spec racing. Same engine, same chassis. When you win, it's because you were the best that day. Your edge is not the kart. It's the setup, the strategy, and the race team. With our Arrive and Drive program, you simply bring your gear, we provide the equipment and the championship-winning support to every event. Stop wrenching, start racing. Your path to the T4 Nations Cup in Spain starts with us. For more information, contact us at macronmotorsports.net.
Ready to go for the mini Swifts here. They're going to send them around one more time. It'll give us a moment here to be able to go over the starting lineup for this next main event. 20 laps on the board for the IAME mini Swifts here, contending for the win. This class always finds a way to surprise us. I think today will be no different. We've been treated to 3 phenomenal finishes, 3 great main events so far, Brett, but I think this one still will find a way to raise the bar. Aiden Go. Go time last night, go time in the superheat on the pole here as we take a look through the entire running order and starting lineup. It goes all the way back to 24th with Milan Ilek here past this second page with, for the most part, all of our major contenders still getting a pretty good spot to fight from in the first couple of rows. Go alongside Jaden Francisco. And then beyond him, Dutch Westbrook, who was fastest in the practice session this morning, starting alongside Hudson Howard. $1,000 cashed already for Aiden Go, and the prettiest seat in the house to start this main event on the pole as he'll round turn 11. And he'll bring him down again. On to main event number 4 here as we continue in the run through the afternoon. Go on the left, Francisco on the right. And here we go. We're underway for Mini Swift. Oh, and a couple together. One of the Bennecks slowing, another one off. More contact up the hill. Flynn Fallon all out of shape in the 195.
There was a lot of jockeying for position down that front straightaway near the mid to back of the pack. But our leaders able to get away cleanly. I think the top 10 are right on our screen right now, nose to tail. You can see everyone in line. Here comes a pass. Looks like Jaden Francisco in the 130. Or excuse me, that's Dutch Westbrook, and the 133 is going to take the lead here.
Yeah, Westbrook in the blue and white colors there in the Team Bennett machine, taking over from Aiden Go in the black and white Parolin, and there's Jaden Francisco, the pretty and pink helmet, the all-red Nitro Kart for Ryan Perry Motorsport, and then a pair of Jay Howard driver development liveries, the white and blue machines. That's Hudson Howard in 4th, Yusufati 5th, Slade Harrell into 6th here as we put one lap down. 19 to go. We've shaken up the middle of the pack a bit, and the leaders a little bit too close together. You want to be pushing hard, but not quite to the edge of the track there in turn 3.
Yeah, I was afraid they were going to go off the dirt there for a second, but they were able to gather it back up as we come through this infield section, but that's allowed Jaden Francisco to catch back up, close the gap slightly as they come down to this sharp sweeping corner here on the infield. Probably one of the slowest corners on this racetrack.
Oh, we got one off in the wall. One of the DPC Express, the 123. Milan Ilek there, down in 20th. tagging the barrier there in turn number 6. 2 down, 18 to go. Dutch Westbrook still the leader out front in a 4-pack. Slate Harrell has now gone past Yusuf Audi. That's taken over the 5th spot. And then here is a look back at the 114, Liam Francisco, up a couple of positions from 12th on the grid, up from 10th. 3 spots up, Camila Canache. She's in that second group as well, the young lady in the 126 Paralympic entry.
She's had a quiet weekend, but look at her up here in the 7th position.
And no worries here to the Slate Harrell fans back home. He is still running as his teammate Jaden Francisco goes for second, and a little bit of an awkward moment there.
I think there was a little bit of contact, and look what's that done to the rest of the field. They've been able to just kind of draft right back up to this lead duo.
Yeah, it was a pretty textbook attempt at a pass, and look at one. I don't think that was by any means an aggressive move like what we saw last night under the lights, but obviously a little contact between Jaden and Aiden drops them both down. There's Harrell popping up the board now. He's in 4th, showing properly on the pylon. Here he goes now, looking for 3rd on Howard. He'll get it. Following suit's going to be Aiden Go back up the board to 4th. All behind the early race leader, Dutch Westbrook, who is trying to now win both mini Swift events here at Trackhouse Motorplex over the last 3 weekends. But he's got Francisco over the last 3 weekends. But he's got Francisco down the inside, taking the lead away. They'll drag race over to 9. 7 of them packed up. More on the way as they go through the double right-hander, but Jaden will hold. And the Canadian, the globe-trotting schedule that Jaden Francisco has on the year, trying to get the win, is now going to lose that lead half a lap later.
Yeah, I thought maybe someone would try to work together, maybe try to get a breakaway here, but they are dicing it up. And we're only 5 laps in. You saw a little bit of sideways into that corner there.
Yeah,
that was the 144.
Iker Alvarez.
He has the fastest lap as well. So hopefully he can gather it back up and maybe get back up into this lead pack.
And early in the race, before everyone's really gotten clean laps, you'll see that the drivers kind of catching up to the leaders will punch a wicked quick time. I mean, that's 4/10 better than what Dutch Westbrook has done, getting in the draft and closing up while Dutch continues to maintain the pace. And they're swapping spots again. That was Aiden Go making the move for 3rd. Puts him now on the bumper of Jaden Francisco. Gives Dutch a little bit of a gap, and now Go's going to go to 2nd. Aiden Go back on the move again. 3 car lengths back and doesn't want to give it up, but Francisco wants to take it right back.
You have to imagine if Dutch Westbrook, with all this, is going to be able to hang on to that lead, or with these long straightaways, I think they're going to be able to draft right back up. You can see their nose to tail.
Yeah, they're a bit too close for him to be. Oh, no! Iker Alvarez, Camila Canache in front of everybody.
That could have been disastrous. He was right on the racing line, completely sideways, but got it gathered back up.
Yeah, Camila, she was all out of shape there on the outside, spun halfway. She gathered it up nice, but yeah, right in front of everyone as Hudson Howard looks to the inside. He'll get 3rd, couldn't quite get 2nd. And now 1 Paralympic down, but 2 remain here in the main group. Aiden Go's still there. Colton Bruck in the 110 still there, but Camila Canache, heartbreaker there. Iker Alvarez kind of was halfway up on the inside going into the corner, and I don't know if she knew he was there or not. But a big moment that sends her down the board.
I think she's outside the top 15 now.
Yeah, she just crossed the line, 19th.
Heartbreaker. Now I mentioned she's had a quiet weekend. That's kind of not the noise that obviously she wanted to make in this event.
No, none whatsoever. So Camila Canache out. And we remain still with a pretty sizable lead group back to Yusuf Audi in the 8th spot there. All still trailing Dutch Westbrook. Took them about a lap and a half to regather themselves after fighting a bit for 2nd and 3rd. They are now back on the doorstep once again. Dutch was going to need a much bigger lead than that for them to not be able to get back up to him.
And there's still a long way to go. We're only completing lap 7 right now. We're not even halfway. Again, this is probably the longest race of the weekend.
And I think it's a little early to be defending, but Dutch obviously heard the engines all of a sudden get a whole lot louder in his ears, and he's now protecting that lead with everything he's got all the way down to the grass. Hudson Howard's going to open up at the last second, see if anyone moves off the line, but they're all going to rinse out.
Yeah, Dutch Westbrook does not want to give up that lead. wants to see how many laps he can lead here today.
It's the only safe spot in the group. In third, fourth, and fifth, you're at the peril of the cars in front. How about Hudson
Wow.
Howard? What a send around the outside. Saw them all going low to block, and
what a great heads-up move.
Yeah. Slate Harrell up to second now in the aftermath of that hairpin. And we're back tied up tighter than we've been in a couple of laps here. First through 8, throw a blanket over him. Hudson Howard, the Pied Piper, now down the front stretch. 8 complete, 12 to go. Westbrook back on Harrell in turn 1.
They're racing like it's the last lap. And we're still, like I said, not even halfway. But what a show they're putting on as we see another change for the lead.
Yeah, Dutch will go right back to it. Hudson Howard finds a hole in third. Aiden Go closes in. And all of them still with all the fighting. Couple seconds out from Liam Francisco as Howard now wanted only second. And he kind of had to go all the way up to the lead there as he got a little bit of help in the brake zone from Aiden Go.
He tried the same move he tried 1 lap ago. Didn't work out as good this time.
Yeah, well, it worked. It would have worked out a lot cleaner if it was just for second. But the moment he pulled out of line, Aiden went right behind him, gave him a little bit of an extra shove to go forward so he could follow him, and it sent Hudson all the way up alongside Dutch.
You see a warning there given to one of these drivers. Not surprising, given what we've been seeing the last couple laps.
Yeah, it looked like it might have gone to Go, if not further back. But again, heads up by all of those kids involved for keeping their heads on a swivel and not having really anything that took any one of them out of the running. They're all still right packed together as we approach halfway. So much racing still left to go in this one. Hudson Howard back to the heels of Dutch Westbrook now. They're going to signal to each other. When they tap the helmet, they're trying to tell the driver behind to push them. But honestly, if you ask any driver now, that sign language has kind of become now the inverse. And
do you want to listen to another driver out? And you can see they don't, because they just went and swapped the lead once again.
Yeah, at this point now, most of the drivers and the driver coaches for the kids as well are saying, if you see someone that you drive up to, tap their helmet, that means they're afraid of you. Pass them. They're worried about you. And now the whole pack is getting ready to try and freight train and pass Hudson Howard into the bowl. He's going to try and send it on the outside to stop the bleeding. It'll end at third as he finds a gap.
Yeah, he's able to get that gap, because if he didn't, he was going to go all the way back, I believe, to 8th place with these 8 cars all in line.
Now mind the gap back to that second group. The more we fight for the lead here as Aiden Go goes through to the front. Howard back alongside Westbrook. At one point, the gap to Liam Francisco was up to nearly 4 seconds. It's now come down to almost 3.1. It has come down even more this lap, and we'll see it when it updates at the timing pylon. That group is about 7 carts deep. If we get 15 of them together, it'll be a ticking time bomb for something to go wrong, because they're all on 11 out of 10 on the aggressive meter. Jaden Francisco duking it out here with Iker Alvarez. That'll break up the group a little bit as he tries to maintain position. Iker doesn't want to get trapped behind him any further, but he has no choice. Jaden protected nicely there down the backstretch.
Aiden Go currently has our fastest lap so far. As Xander mentioned, once we got more laps, more clean track, that's when these leaders were able to get the speed that they need. You can see more jockeying here as a clear 2 groups now for the lead. First 4 and then the next 4 through 8.
Colton Bruck now up to 6 with that pass on Iker Alvarez. Yusuf Adi's alongside him as they trade the lead. Dutch Westbrook to the point. Howard up to second. Adi hanging on over Alvarez in the chrome and yellow. Liam Francisco trying to close up to his cousin Jaden's in the lead group. Liam started in 12th, didn't have the best run in the opening couple laps, and he has marched his way into the top 10. And now with the leaders fighting again, Howard into the side of Dutch Westbrook.
Looks like he may have hit that curb on the entry, and Kart got loose, had to correct, and got into the side there of Dutch Westbrook.
100%. He just sent it in deep there, and it was a bit awkward at the apex there. Once he climbed up on the curbing, sent him straight up the hill. But Dutch is still rolling. He's still side by side with Slade Harrell here for third.
But you can see there's those two drivers. I think that's Jaden Francisco is able to catch up with this group now.
Yeah, now in Westbrook going by Harrell for third. That is Colton Bruck in 5th. Jaden Francisco in the 6th spot. closing in on your leaders. And they have broken away from Yusuf Adi and Iker Alvarez. And to set the stage here for you folks, Aiden Go, he's won in the mini Swift class before. He doubled up, got his first and second win on a doubleheader weekend in June last year. Hudson Howard's won before. Dutch Westbrook won as recent at this track, specifically on the national calendar 3 weeks ago, the last time we were here. But Slade Harrell, his first year in the mini Swift class, he has not yet gotten his first win. On month number 5, he is right there in the mix of it. Jaden Francisco's won before, and Colton Bruck would also be hunting for his first win. So 4 former winners, multi-time winners apiece, all on the main contingent. As they roll down the hill, Howard with a run. As we complete lap 14, he'll go back to the front with help from Westbrook, and Colton Bruck defending a bit there from Jaden, or making the pass, on Jaden Francisco, and now the leaders. Dutch helped him, passed him, now they're both gonna get passed again.
Side by side, 2 rows deep down into this corner here.
Aiden Go back to the lead in the black and white Parolin.
It looks like they've been able to nicely create a second groove in that corner where the marbles have been cleaned off, and you can see Dutch Westbrook was able to use that high side, only dropped back to third. Now he's gonna go for second here.
Put his hand in the air, kind of shrugging as Dutch Westbrook goes by. Poor Slade Harrell, every time he tries to make forward progress, the kids on their second or third year in the class keep shuffling the rookie back down the board. Meanwhile, Aiden Go with a bit of a gap now as Westbrook and Howard try to close back up to him. And the new kid on the block settling in, but he's got company. Colton Bruck closing. Jaden Francisco, all the speed from earlier in the weekend right now, and in the later stages of the race, he finds himself 6th, and he's a little bit back from Colton Bruck. I don't know what might be the miss for Jaden Francisco, but speed won't matter if we're going to do this here all the way to the end.
That was that defensive line definitely stacked everybody up. And you can see now we have 5 karts in this lead pack. Dutch Westbrook, I think, is going to try and make a pass here. Well, it's going to be a lot harder when you have someone using that defensive line just like that.
Oh, man, 2 wide, 3 wide. Howard to the outside, inside, all scattered. Francisco, I think, is going to be the big winner out of this. He just moved his way up to 4th. Great heads-up move there for Jaden.
Yeah, Francisco was loving what he saw out in front of him with them dicing for the lead there. He's right back in this.
Farrell black flag going to someone. Might have been Westbrook there as he pulled low on the front stretch. But Aiden Go hanging on to the lead by a thread as he covers low up the hill. 4 to go. 6 of them. About to be 8 of them. Lennox Lockhart now at the front of the next pack. Actually, he's all by himself. Lennox Lockhart in the 148 machine. Started 9th, went way back early. He has now gotten back up the board in the top 10. He's only a couple seconds away. About 3 more laps of this, he'll be there to maybe steal a spot in the top 5 on the box. As Howard finds a hole at the last second. New leader, 2 wide, 3 wide. Go with a heads-up move. Westbrook back around him. Unreal stuff here in Mini Swift.
And we still have coming to 3 to go, I believe, so this is an exciting race.
There's so many of them. They're so close together. They just got to be careful because the littlest of contact, then multiplied down multiple karts, could really set things off. But Jaden Francisco now struggling as Colton Bruck gets a bit away. And now Iker Alvarez trying to go on Francisco, can't get there. The top 2, they've got an opportunity to break away from the field. Colton Bruck on par for what could be his best career major result. Because Jaden Francisco and Iker Alvarez, these two, it feels like the last few laps, they've just been brawling, and they are still going at it.
If they want a chance at this win, I think they're going to need to get organized here.
And Howard is trapped back right there. Now. Hudson Howard stuck with that group. Slate Harrell the same.
And now the question is, we asked this to the couple drivers this weekend, do you want to be leading on the final lap?
Well, I'd want to certainly be above the second group. That doesn't look fun at all. Farrell black flag going there. 2 to go.
Oh, they're trading the lead now, too. We see the Aiden Go up into the lead past Dutch Westbrook, and they're swapping the lead again down the back straightaway.
Dutch Westbrook was in this exact position, outnumbered here in teammates, and he was able to come out on top in a 4v1 5-car pack 3 weeks ago. He's outnumbered again by the 2 Parolins of Go in the lead and Bruck in third, 2 to 1.
But look how fast that packet, they're 2 seconds off these leaders now as they continue to dice up back here, use these defensive lines.
Hudson Howard was on the side of Alvarez, and yeah, we cut away from it, but Eicher ends up in the wall. Big moment there. That was back for fourth. We'll get another look at it when we can, but we're coming to the white flag for the lead as well.
It's gonna
Chaos
be
all
between
over.
These top 3 drivers, it looks like.
It'll be Westbrook, Go, and Bruck duking it out. Dutch covering low. Go crosses him over. Did he get a nose alongside? He did. Colton Bruck could cross them both up as they wash out high. No, he'll push Aiden Go down the backstretch. Go to the lead. Westbrook on the high side trying to hang tough. He'll rinse up the hill, runs out of grip. Colton Bruck into second.
It's a long way to this finish line. Plenty of passing opportunities, including the last corner on this racetrack. We've seen plenty of passes on that last corner throughout this weekend.
Colton Bruck hasn't led a single lap in this main event. He's got a chance to steal it and lead the most important one. His teammate up front. Go, normal through 9, little contact into 9. Westbrook able to get up to second as Bruck backs off, trying to give Go some space, and it allowed the second spot to slip through his fingers. Aiden Go is going to win again. He wins the Mini Swift Final. Aiden Go, last night the $1,000 shootout win. Today, the main event win in Mini.
You saw him with the fist up after he continues to have the fist up. This win means a lot to him. And here he is with his teammate.
Colton Bruck still pumped up about it, as he should be. Career best result for Colton. Third in the final running order. Slade Harrell fourth, and I mentioned Lennox was coming. Lennox Lockhart steals the final spot on the box, and all the chaos in that second group coming to the line by just 0.03 of a second over Liam Francisco. He'll get some hardware to take home down to Miami. Congratulations to Lennox Lockhart on that valiant late race charge. Slate Harrell on the podium, his first Mini Swift appearance at the IAME Grand National Championship. He'll certainly be a factor next year again as well. But Aiden Go was all smiles last night off the shootout win. I wonder what he's going to be like now here with this big one, the main event win. Aiden Go.
Two for Aiden Go. Aiden, tell me about that move that you made to get to the lead.
I don't even know how to explain it. It was just like the most exciting race of all time.
And what were you thinking about when you turned that last corner and you saw the checkered flag?
I'm like, okay, I'm just going to celebrate a little bit, and then I'm just going to stay calm, that's all.
Oh, there you go. And who do you have to thank for this victory today?
The team owner and Marco, my data coach.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So 2 more main events remain. Aiden Go, victorious here. 3 Paralympians on the podium. Colton Bruck third. Lennox Lockhart up to 5th. Solid drive. X30 Junior, we return. Are you ready to get behind the wheel? From Formula One to NASCAR and IndyCar, all the pros start here. For more information, check us out online at mcckarting.com or call us and go racing today.
Are you stuck with your kart racing? Not sure the ideal kart setup? Or going to a track for the first time? Well, Kart Class has the answers for you. Our online portal has a wealth of experience and knowledge to help your kart racing. From kart setup advice to track guides that are targeted specifically to your circuit, or the driver coaching aspect with mindset, racecraft and driving techniques. If you want to take your karting to the next level, visit us at kartclass.com.
Are
Are you looking to take the next step in your racing journey? Well, look no further than PitFit.
With 2 locations in Charlotte, North Carolina and Indianapolis, Indiana, PitFit trains drivers all the way from grassroots level karting to IndyCar and NASCAR, with top-of-the-line personalized coaching to improve physical and cognitive fitness.
For more information on programs, check out PitFit on Instagram or Facebook today.
Ready for action once again here, folks. 2 more main events remain on the day. X30 Junior onto the circuit. Hurricane Travis struck once, struck twice, trying to make it 3 times on the weekend and 2 times today. He starts on the pole. Tristan Murphy, oh so close in that cage. Junior main, it's a lot of the same front runners we saw from earlier this morning. Back out there again, Nico Kwiatkowski, Parker Ives, Ashton Woon, Benja Fernandez, Marco Samet, Nathan Golseth, Josh Bergman, Arthur Barb, and then here are your final few rows. Achilles Saporco, Mose, Jimenez, and Paxton Romero for your 14 driver X30 Junior field. Not as many of them, but certainly just as top heavy as the rest.
We know at least one driver that is willing to send it. We saw it last night with Marco Samet. Heartbreaking for him. He tried so hard. We showed that earlier in our warm-up. We'll see if he's able to do one of those similar moves here in this main event here on Sunday.
He's going to need every bit of luck, speed, and positioning, and it starts right now. 22 laps, put it on the board. X30 Junior is green from Trackhouse, and a huge lead for the inside lane off the jump. And just like that, we're underway here through the bowl for the first time with all 14 of them still rolling on the racetrack through turn number 5. Travis Pettit getting away nicely here to Kwiatkowski and Murphy. And they'll roll to the infield for the first time. Nico Kwiatkowski, a late move there alongside Travis Pettit. Nearly gets into the side of him and he pulls back. No harm, no foul. We stay green and all clean up front, but that does bring them a little closer. 6 of them in the initial pack break. And Murphy trying to now mix it up there for second at the end of the opening lap.
I was about to say, I thought they're all content riding nose to tail, but then Tristan Murphy and Nico Kwiatkowski proved me wrong in that first lap, but now it looks like we have it sorted out as we swing down the back straightaway. You can see a breakaway of our first 6 karts here. And then we go on to a second pack forming, it looks like, as well, as Travis Pettit continues to lead like he has all weekend, but I'm sure they're going to be challenging him throughout this event.
Benja Fernandez now down the inside, gets a little bit help. A little too much help there. Ashton Woon kind of shoved him through a bit and gave him a little elbow on the exit as Fernandez slid wide, and now here comes Marco Samet as they rocket up the hill towards us.
Yeah, that turns down an area where you don't want to go off anywhere, but that has a big divot on the exit there. Definitely scrubbed off a lot of speed, and you see the furled flag go out there as well.
2 laps now, or one full lap completed here in the X30 Junior main event, working on lap number 2. Travis Pettit and Tristan Murphy with a big gap over the rest of the field.
Pettit and Murphy, I think, are just going to work together, try to gap themselves as big as they can. I mean, we still have 20 laps. It's a long time that they can work together and increase this gap.
Yeah, and that's I think what we're going to see indeed. The gap now up and over the drafting window. So Ashton Woon and Nathan Golseth, it's going to be pressure time, a critical point here in their main event begins right now over these next few laps. If they can really hit their marks, no mistakes, and have enough speed to be able to track down the top 2 that are working together. Pettit and Murphy clock in at a 48.3 as we see Salmon making the move on Kwiatkowski. Yeah, that was only a 48.5 for Woon that time.
Samet's up 3, and I mentioned that because he had a drive through the field last night as well. Going to need some help here, though, as we've already kind of spaced everyone out and everyone's broken apart. But we've seen all day, just takes a little bit of racing to bring everyone back together.
So pairs of 2 up front. Fernandez now trying to go back forward with help from teammate Josh Bergman. They'll make that move work on Nico Kwiatkowski in the infield. And as they roll through turn number 9, move Fernandez back up into 6. Marco Samet next up on the road in the BJRLN kart, trying to hunt down the 2 Speed Concepts racing machines. 3 down. working lap number 4. There's your look at the gaps to the field. So Samet closing up. Last time by Marco Samet, just about as fast as the leaders, but so was Golseth. Nathan Golseth was identical to Travis Pettit. 48.293 for both first and third on the road. But again, he's 1.4 seconds back from the lead, 1.3 back from Tristan Murphy. So if they're even, this will hold. He needs to have a pace advantage to be able to get there to the top 2.
Yeah, you can see they're definitely working together, those two teammates there. And they're probably getting signals from the fence, to keep working together as they have a third car now, it looks like, trying to join their train as we sweep onto the front straightaway down to the start-finish line.
That'll put 4 in the books and 18 laps to go here, with a long road ahead and a much more of a chess match race here underway for X30 Junior. As Tristan Murphy and Travis Pettit bide their time. Ashton Woon now going by on Nathan Golseth. Marco Samet trying to muscle his way past. Golseth wasn't going to give it up there into 5. He had the preferred lane, so he'll hold the 4th spot, but Marco's still right there on his heels. He'll look to go right here, turn 8 inside. Textbook right there, nice and easy. And Marco Samet's got another one.
Yeah, he split those teammates up, and we'll see if he will draft up to the other teammates and see if he's able to pass him as well.
Again, it all comes down to how minimal they can manage any passing, or at least time lost on passes, because that lap was a huge hit. That was a 3/10 burn on the gap to the leaders. Now Samet will go by on Ashton Woon. Ashton will let him have it into the bowl.
Yeah, smart by Woon there not to try and defend. He knows that lead duo are getting smaller and smaller, getting that bigger lead, so just drop in behind, try and work together here.
Yeah, see if Marco's speed running behind you is as good as it will be running in front, as Benja Fernandez makes the pass there for P5. Solid move back forward for Benja. Almost back to neutral off that great start he had, or actually he is about back to neutral. Now in the top 5, closing in towards Ashton Woon. That Kart Republic's got some speed in it, and Benja Fernandez doesn't have a lot of experience. To my knowledge, this might be his first X30 Junior National event. He's had a handful of K Junior Nationals under his belt. Double duty this weekend for many, but for Benja Fernandez here in X30 Junior especially, he has looked very strong in the early going of this race. Had he not gotten tripped up there with Ashton Woon early, he might have been able to already be up to 3rd and trying to hold station or close that gap to the lead. Let's see what turn 8 looks like as he pulls up to Woon. He's not quite there, but he is going to be now. And again, this lap, Marco Samet's first lap leading this second group. We'll see if they make any inroads towards the leaders. Marco using every bit of that runoff. Put 8 down. 14 to go. Pettit the leader to Murphy. What's the gap back to 3rd? Dead even as Fernandez pulls the trigger for 4th.
The way this race is shaping up, it almost reminds me of tandem style drafting that we used to see in NASCAR. You see the 2 up front working together, and I think these guys back here need to find partners to work together and try and push each other as much as you can to get back up to that lead.
Well, again, you need to find someone that's good where you're not, and inversely, you want to have a go-kart out front that really is a little better out of the corners because you're going to give them a little space in the braking zone, and you want the pusher to be geared a little more for the end of the straightaways to push you once you get up to the rev limiter or the end of the power band in a no rev limiter power package like the Ks and the Mini Swifts. But here, Marco Samet, he's a lone BJR entry up at the front. His teammate Bashi Jimenez just outside the top 10. But this is what I was mentioning a little bit earlier about Mini and Micro and even in K Junior, that had 2 of them, just any of the 2 in those lead groups, done this from the early couple laps and broken away, it would have been the exact same story. And so now we know we're in that style of race, and you don't really get to see it until about lap 4. And the tone is set usually by the lead group. If one driver or 2 drivers are really aggressive, continuing to choose to battle, then everyone's going to have to go into racecraft mode. But if 2 drivers were able to get to the top 2 spots early, get a little bit of a gap where they could see that they're not under pressure for second, the driver in second could just do exactly what Tristan Murphy is doing and make it a 2-horse race. And inch by inch, they're pulling away. Now a couple hundredths further up the road from Travis Pettit and Tristan Murphy. finds Marco Salmon as he looks ahead. And now Benja Fernandez saying, all right, we gave you a few laps up front. We weren't making any progress, so let me have a go at it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're able to, they haven't found that perfect match as you were talking about yet. And meanwhile, Pettit and Murphy are on like a Sunday drive here, just nose to tail with each other, continuing to extend that lead ever so slightly every single lap. But if you're Pettit, you have to wonder, you know that the pass is going to come, or the attempt at a pass is going to come eventually as the laps begin to tick away. So you're obviously looking, I believe you said they have a digital counter, so he's probably looking at the counter to figure out how many laps there are to go. As you can see, we are halfway.
Yeah, they'll get the halfway signal. That'll help kind of reset them, and then from here, you know, all right, we got 11 more laps around this place, right around that. We can keep on riding. Now, Benja Fernandez, to his credit, last time by, even with the pass on Marco, as we see Golseth going by on Woon, was about a half-tenth quicker than the leaders. It is possible to be able to break away more so in the X30 Junior and X30 Pro by yourself, or make progress by yourself than some of the other divisions. You'll see it even more so in the X30 Pro class coming up next. And Benja Fernandez, he's in the essentially same package that dominated this event last year in both junior main events. Lucas Palacio was at the helm, and he was able to break away from a pack that was pushing, and they were on his bumper, shoving, and he inched away over the course of the race, didn't put a single wheel wrong in both K Junior and X30 Junior, and put on just a clinic of perfect laps and consistency. Now, Benj, obviously, with that same level of support and coaching from Kart Republic, MPG Motorsports, Chase Jones, Billy Vincent, their camp, they've got him tuned up here on this Sunday afternoon main event. He seems to have a little bit of an edge on speed when you look at where Marco is able to get to him. He's really only able to get back up to Benja's bumper at the very end of the back straightaway. And that tells us here that the Benja might be the best of this four-pack. Nathan Golseth looks like he's starting to find a second wind here a little bit in the midway, because he has started to even pull a little further from Ashton Woon. But this lap by, another good tell. Fernandez only able to match the leaders, a 1.5 to a 1.2. Just incredible consistency out of Travis Pettit and Tristan Murphy, how good they are together right now.
And we mentioned, and you can see it on our cameras, we mentioned it, the sun's been beating down all day, not a cloud in the sky. You mentioned the tires, the different class of tires that we have in each division. Do you think tires or tire wear would become a factor today with all the heat that we see on this racetrack?
I think so. At the very end, you'll see it a little bit. And it's not so much the tire degradation, but again, the heat factor. Tristan Murphy running behind Travis Pettit for this entire race. His front tires will be about probably 5 or 10 degrees hotter than Travis Pettit. And like you said, the sunshine baking the surface. It's obviously warming up outside. Projected to get just into the upper 60s, low 70s here today, but the track temp is scorching hot at this point in the afternoon. Hottest part of the day now. And so by the end of these 22 laps, Murphy, if he doesn't take a point at the lead here, I mean, they've got enough of a gap. It's only barely holding. And last time by, Benja cut in 2/10. So they can't afford to mess around too much. But if you let Travis lead the way the entire time, you don't upset him, throw off his rhythm. I mean, he's got, you know, a perfect flow going on right now with no pressure. You kind of want to disrupt that a little before the end of the race, because otherwise, as Nathan Golseth makes the move for fourth, Travis is going to be in a perfect headspace. You kind of want to rattle him a little bit by making a pass before it gets too late. And of course, you run the risk as well, being in second, that if you're the one that misses a corner, makes a bobble, makes a mistake, there's no one behind you to shove you back forward. Whereas if Travis misses one turn, Tristan's going to give him a little love tap on the exit and push him back away. So, you know, it's a somewhat dangerous spot for sure.
And looking at our scoring pylon, you can see there's really no teammates lined up together. Golseth and Woon are separated by Marco Salmon, and then you have the two teammates back in 10th and 11th. But there's going to be no team orders, it looks like, with these final laps, because everyone's pretty much split up across this 14-car field as we come around. Click off another lap 17 or lap 16 on the board. We're starting lap 17 now of 22. So they're running out of time. These second, as Golseth is able to get the fastest lap once again. He is currently in fourth, and it looks like he's going to slot his way now into third. So He wants to lead this second group, see if he's able to close the gap at all with just a handful of laps remaining.
And now as the field rolls into the infield, Nathan Golseth, 6 laps to go. Benja Fernandez was in third for a good bit. They're trying to hope for anything up front as the field rolls out of turn 9 and up the hill to 11. Down the front straightaway, another lap in the books here. 17 complete, 5 to go. Woon taking a look back over the shoulder and at the motor as Nico Katowski's now got company.
And you can see one with that shot down the front straightaway, just how the field has widened out from first to 13th is a separation of 9 seconds. So they are spread out all over this Trackhouse Motorplex with this 22-lap event scheduled here this afternoon. As you take a look deeper in the field there, as we come back now to the battle deeper, as I mentioned in the field, that is the 792 of Nico Katowski. I was expecting some better things out of him maybe in this event, but it looks like maybe he got shuffled back and just was losing that front draft, and now he's trying whatever he can do to get back up there, but may run out of time here.
Yeah, 4 laps to go. Travis Pettit, 10th and a half up on the field. 2 seconds back to the second group. Nathan Golseth in third. Marco Samet back around Fernandez. He led the way for a good chunk. But overall, as they roll through the infield section, Nathan Golseth.
He really hopped that curb there, but really didn't scrub any speed off of his kart. I've seen him do that a couple times throughout this race. It looks like he's using that almost to his advantage.
And now as they roll through and out of turn number 9, Golseth with a bigger gap, pulling away, coming to 3 to go. Woon trying to get back into the fight. 3 laps to go. First move for the lead in a minute. Tristan Murphy to the inside.
Apparently 3 laps was the number, 3 laps to go. As soon as he crossed that line to get that signal, he took this lead, but this race is far from over. As you can see, now they're dicing it up for that second pack. That's not what they should be doing if they want to catch up to this lead duo of Pettit and Murphy. Things organize out right now with Pettit in second, Murphy taking a defensive line down in the corner there. There is this second group of 4. As you can see, they are side by side for the lead as Pettit takes it back here. As we about to complete, I should say, 1 more lap here. We're going to get the 2 to go as they cross the finish line this time by. You can see our flagger there giving the 2 to go. And Pettit taking the defensive line into turn number 1. But it looks like Murphy may have a charge coming down the backstretch.
He's going to be close. He'll have a run at him down the back straightaway. Travis Pettit to the inside, covering. Fight is on for third. Through the bowl, headed over to the infield chicane. Tristan Murphy hanging on strong here. He's got another run at him in turn 8 if he wants. What can you do? You have still ample time out back. He'll set up for the crossover. Trying to cross over the rubber. He kind of got tripped up there. Too much grip. Couldn't quite get it done through turn 9.
Yeah, they are clean and green. No pressure from behind. They have not been able to close the gap very much. As we're coming around the final corner, we're going to get the white flag this time by.
1 lap to go. Travis Pettit, Tristan Murphy fighting for the win. Pettit trying to double up. Murphy trying to spoil the party and add on to the win from last night. No crossover available there through 3. Down to 4. Murphy looking high. Nothing there. Still duking it out back behind him for third as well.
Only a few more corners that he can set up a pass here. Again, final corner is also a great passing zone, but he wants to try and make that effort long before the final corner as they continue to battle through this tight section.
Oh, Travis runs him wide. Murphy tried it through turn 9. Final time. Travis Pettit out of turn number 9's got a big gap from it. He should be good to the end. And the Hurricane strikes twice on Sunday. Travis Pettit wins in X30 Junior. Murphy second and Benja Fernandez hangs on for third.
Murphy kept Pettit honest there those final 2 laps. But what a performance by Travis Pettit all weekend. You can see the win means so much to him as we get to take a look at our final results here. Nathan Golseth had the fastest lap, just didn't have enough time, finished there in 4th. Marco Samet tried everything he could, finished in 5th. than the rest of our top 10 finishers.
So, Travis Pettit, your main event winner in X30 Junior. Perfect display of teamwork. He'll head to the scale lines to celebrate again. What a run. What a Sunday for Travis Pettit with a double up in the junior ranks.
Hey, good job, bro.
Just as you said you would, led every single lap that race. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. Car was good. Tires came in at a perfect time. I mean, I want to thank Tristan for pushing me. You know, we made such a big gap. We were fast, and I'm grateful for that. You know, car was on rails all weekend long, and I couldn't have done it without Ralston Performance Group, my mom, my dad, family watching back at home, Coach Ben from the U Movement, my mechanic Brady, and I want to like to thank Alex Vincent Performance for building a really a missile of an engine for this weekend, and yeah.
You made some pretty good money this weekend. What's the plan how to spend it?
Well, I'm not going to spend it all. I'm just going to save it and, you know, make more.
Well, enjoy it.
Thank you.
And I actually want to pass it down to Nathan Golseth back here. Nathan, you were racing pretty hard at the end there. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah. We had a good kart. It was a bit unlucky just this whole weekend in both classes. We had the kart for third there. The first two kind of were just a little bit better. Yeah, we could work on it, work on my driving. It's a good piece though. I'm very confident for the rest of the season.
You were the fastest kart out there. What do you think you could have done if you had maybe just a couple more laps in you?
Man, I don't know. Maybe we could have tried getting to the leaders, but I don't know. We were a bit far. I think I could have defended for third a little bit better. Benja had a really good move on me, so full credit to him. Yeah.
Still a really great effort.
Yeah, thank you.
Wins the Wisconsin Grand Prix. James Overbeck on start number 2 gets win number 1 in OKN Stars.
On track or off, Brandon Jarsekrak Racing delivers elite performance. Led by 4-time Pro National Champion Brandon Jarsekrak, our team masters driver coaching, data-driven analysis, and mechanical precision at every national event. Contact us today at BrandonJarsekrackracing.com.
Kyle, what are you doing?
It's got my new Greyhound seat.
You don't even have a cart.
Doesn't matter. I have a Greyhound.
Who the f is Kyle Cuthbertson? Doesn't even have a go-kart.
Doesn't matter.
Cuthbertson through on Turney. Turney in the dirt.
You know, I'm really starting to like this go-karting thing.
Yeah, me too. Oh my gosh, can I show you this cute dress I just got?
Yes, of course. Oh my goodness, it's so cute.
I just love shopping.
I love shopping too.
Oh my god.
Wait, do you guys say you like shopping?
Of course.
Well, dude, I have the perfect place to do that at. ShopPegera.com.
At ShopPayKR.com, you can get free shipping on orders $200 or more. You can get anything you want, like MXC rims, gloves, rib vests, shoes, anything that you need, all at ShopPayKR.com.
Who is he talking to?
No idea.
But we're gonna have to check it out. Sounds like a great deal.
Sure does.
Hey guys, I'm Chris G. I'm Kart Chaser's driver fitness coach, and today I'm gonna give you 3 tips on how to strengthen your shoulders for more endurance and better stability in the kart. Here we go. Okay, so exercise number 1 is the front rope pull-through cable raises. Okay, now, this is the upright cable row. What you are doing here is you're picking a straight bar, as you see, and we're working the side areas of our shoulders, the medial. Exercise number 3, the dumbbell shrugs. As you guys can tell, I like to pause at the top before releasing. It's great for your strength, for that wheel stability. It's great for those shoulders and that upper back area. Chris G coaching, race-ready training that carries into real life. That's what we do here. See you on the next one.
And welcome back here to Trackhouse Motorplex for our X30 Pro Final. This is the final event of the weekend, and there is our front row of Paulie Massimino, Joe Turney, the 2 strongest drivers clearly this weekend. James Overbeck and Zovidamonte in 4th. John Antonino, in 5th, and then you can see the rest of our starting lineup here at Trackhouse Motorplex. Again, final race of the weekend. What a great weekend of racing we've seen so far. X30 Pro's going to round us out. Should be an exciting race. Joe Turney still looking for that first win on the weekend. Paul Massimino looking to continue his dominance on his own racetrack.
Yeah, this has been a phenomenal weekend to this point for Paulie Massimino. James Overbeck looking for a pick-me-up, close to the win in K Senior, came away with a 5th. Heartbreak in the shootouts, heartbreak last night in the X30 Pro shootout for JT. We're ready for action for one more main, the big one, $5,000, the IAME Grand National Championship main event. Paulie Massimino on the left, Joe Turney on the right, ready to go here from Trackhouse Motorplex for the final time this weekend. DePorter, green, flag in the air, X30 Pro is green. All good as they get down the backstretch into the bowl for the first time. Paulie Massimino with the lead. Joe Turney into 2nd. Overbeck to Vidmontien to Antonino into the top 5 there on the opening lap.
Everyone clean through this infield section. They were dicing it up in the back of the field. Everyone organizes it out, as you can see that Alex Vanchev back in 10th, able to snag one more position in that 306 kart, bright pink suit there, as they remain nose to tail on the front with Paulie Massimino, Joe Turney, and then the Massimino teammate of James Overbeck in 3rd, as the first lap is on the board, as Overbeck wants to take over the 2nd position here, as its teammate and teammate maybe going to work together like we saw in a earlier division this afternoon. We'll see how it all shakes out as they go through this sweeping corner here at Trackhouse Motorplex. Looking back there, Vanchev, I believe, is up another position from 7th now to 6th. There he is on the back of this pack in the pink fire suit. He was strong yesterday in the shootout with these drivers, proving the 15-year-old rookie still has a lot to prove and is able to compete with these veteran drivers.
Yeah, he's got a great run going here in the early laps, but so do the drivers behind him. I mean, this has been a very smooth start. No one's really broken away from the field, and they're just trying to all settle in and hopefully keep the leaders in sight. Massimino, Overbeck, Turney, Vidmontien, very reminiscent of what we just witnessed in K Senior, but now Overbeck gonna switch things up as he goes to the lead in the bowl.
Very similar to what we saw earlier on this afternoon, as this is a 25-lap event. So this is a long one for these X30 Pro drivers as they remain in single file line as they come down into the infield section, part of the slowest part of the racetrack. James Overbeck also still looking for a win this weekend. Tough break on Friday in the shootout They're able to get his kart repaired. And he's running now nose to tail with his teammates.
And now as they roll down the front stretch, 2 laps complete, 23 to go. We begin to settle in. Adam Brickley, Colin Lloyd, 7th and 8th as they roll through turn 3 with a little gap back from Lloyd. Alex Stanfield running by himself in the 9th spot off a good start. He's not really had the speed he's needed to contend for the win here. The former national champion Alex Stanfield trying to close on up to the top 8 oh no, there's problems for a former winner. Jacob Kolar grinds to a halt in the bowl as they mix it up in the lead group. What a heartbreak.
Sure. It looks like that may have been a mechanical issue. I don't think there was any contact, but he was strong this weekend. We talked to him on the grid several times. Heartbreaker for him.
Down the front straightaway. James Overbeck leads to Pauly, to Turney. Alexander Vanchev.
Up 7. Look at him. Keep an eye on him. Now he's in 4th position. Needs a little help to catch back up to those top 3.
Yeah, he's almost there. One pass, he'll close up. If not, even the speed, he'll be able to roll into the corner whereas Joe Turney's going to have to back up the turns quite a bit to not run over Pauly. The infield section will be the greatest strength here for Vanchev, and he is maximizing it right now. Look how much he's closing. The same with Buddy. John Antonino hot off the $5,000 payday last night on the move with a move past Enzo Vidmontien, move him into 5th. We'll roll out of turn number 9, up the hill again. It'll be 5 complete. 20 to go. A long run here stands between us and Pauly Massimino will make the next bid. Lead change number 2, and just the BJR duo only have touched the top spot so far.
They are so solid about doing that leapfrog and not losing any time. It's like they've obviously done it plenty of times before, and it's showing that they have this during this race. Joe Turney wants them to hopefully slip up a little bit so it can maybe get into 2nd and split them up.
Oh, and this will be a late dive, and there he goes, right on cue there, Brett. Joe Turney sends Overbeck back to 4th as Vanchev slips on by.
Wow, again, Vanchev just 15 years old. He's now going to be up 8 positions. He's really made a drive through the field, and it's not surprising given the performance he's had this weekend. Several podiums across several different divisions that we have.
Yeah, he has been doing great here this weekend. Alexander Vanchev now through turn number 3. Down the backstretch, looking low for 2nd. From 11th on the grid, Alexander Vanchev makes the move stick on Turney and continues this forward march. So much speed.
I was going to say, you took the words right out of my mouth. He's got a kart underneath him that is strong.
And Overbeck's in trouble. He's going to cover. He had made buddy, into the wall almost there. Big moment for James Overbeck. He made a mistake in turn 6, dropped the tire, and now he's parking the bus to try and hang on for dear life. Turney's pointing ahead saying, dude, the leaders are gone. We're losing time. He'll make the pass in 11, but John Antonino, the victim.
Turney,
oh man, and it bent the rear axle.
That was a hard hit.
Tire. He didn't touch the wall. He went out to the runoff, but I think the damage came from jumping the rear wheel of Joe Turney going into the hairpin. And that was a huge blow to the race here for everyone.
You could see, I think, there was a little bit of frustration out of Turney down that front straightaway. You said it kind of like, what are we doing? We're letting these 2 leaders get away.
And there's a look at the bent rear axle here for John Antonino. He will not get a chance to go for 2 $5,000 checks here today as Overbeck starts to get swarmed. It all really kicked off when James had just a bit of an awkward run into turn number 5 2 laps ago. Jumped the outer curb, was out of shape through 6, dropped the outside rear tire off the track, and now the field is just, the sharks are swarming and cutting every which way around Overbeck. Blake Nash now onto the heels of him as Colin Lloyd's got the spot and begins to protect.
You have to wonder if the handling's gone away on that car, if there's something maybe a little bit askew because he's not nearly as fast as he was just a few laps ago.
Well, I think it's all just the last 2 laps of being offline, and he hasn't had a moment to kind of gather his bearings up. Certainly, he's got a little mentally rattled right now, and with that move now, he goes back forward past Lloyd, sends Colin back into the mix of it, but they're going to be about 3 seconds back from race leader Pauly Massimino. Now, this one's still far from done. The top 4 all were able to get past Overbeck. Vanchev is closing in. Turney taking a look back now. He's going to have to push to go catch up to the top 2.
Yeah, it's going to be a tall order, but it can be done with the amount of laps that we have left. 15 still to go.
As they roll down the backstretch, James Overbeck to the inside, covering still from Blake Nash and company, and that whole cavalry. Colin Lloyd got sent off, and he's all the way on his lonesome now out of the bowl. And we check in with him here. He's way outside the top 10 now in that last lap. Whatever happened to Lloyd after Overbeck sent it on him here in the hairpin, got knocked off, and now he's out of the running. Caleb Gaffera, Blake Nash, Adam Brickley all kind of trapped behind Overbeck, trying to find a way past. Blake Nash got onto the box last year. We know he's got speed here. He's trying to give anything he can here to root Overbeck out of the way or find a way past him. Got him in the center of the corner there, and now Overbeck again protects in turn 1. Backing them all up. Nash has a run at him in 3. He'll cross him over, out down the backstretch. Meanwhile, new leader, Vanchev by.
You saw that. I mean, what a performance. He has the fastest lap. Well, I'm interested to see if he's going to be able to pull away at all here from Paulie Massimino, which would be an incredible run. Paulie owns this place this weekend. He lives just down the road, about 40 minutes from here, Indian Trail, North Carolina. Paulie's got a lot of, oh no.
Chase Cassidy has found the tire wall. Turn 8. That pack we were kind of keeping a tab on has certainly come unglued. Big dust cloud billowing across the track. Turney and Vidmontien are making inroads, though. They're closing in. And Overbeck now has his teammate behind him in Alex Stanfield. Let's see if he can take a breath now as whatever happened in the hairpin sent Chase Cassidy in the wall. And I think we've got to look as well at what happened to Colin Lloyd a couple laps ago in turn 11, too. Stanfield now into the top 5 with that move there on Overbeck. And Joe Turney continues to roll towards the leaders, trying to close up, 1.3 seconds away.
Joe's got clean racetrack, just got to hit all his marks, and I think he'll be able to get back up there. Or at least that's what he's hoping, is if he hits all his marks, that the 2 drivers up front will begin to make some passes for the lead or some aggressive moves that slow them down.
Here comes Massimino, back to the bumper of Vanchev, looking for the lead, turn 1. He had a huge run at him out of the last turn as we get to the halfway mark in this race. Vanchev was wicked quick, tracking towards the veteran, but they were not faster with Alex in front. They slowed down to a 47.5, and Turney and Vidmontien both cut in about 1/10 of a second. That next group is now 6 seconds away as Overbeck has found a place to ride in 7th. Alex Stanfield now into the top 5, started 14th, avoiding the chaos. We'll see what kind of looks we have of anything further back of what happened to Gassiet Lee, what happened to Colin Lloyd when we can. For the moment, Paulie Massimino with the lead and pulling away a little bit from Vanchev. Pulled about 2 car lengths this lap.
Yeah, looking at our rundown, Daniel Perez in 10th place, up 15 positions. Again, taking advantage of some of the, I don't want to say carnage, but some of the issues that we've had throughout the field. As you can see, this large line of cars. James Overbeck has dropped back to 7th. Hard to believe that just a few laps ago, 6 laps ago, he was up in the lead pack. As they snake their way down to the sweeping corner before they go into this infield section. Everyone's going to stay nose to tail for the time being.
And Blake Nash on the bumper of Gaffera as Overbeck goes back on Stanfield. Alex was able to work his way through the fray, but he didn't have enough speed to stay at the front of the group. So now back he goes, and Caleb Gaffera now moves into that final provisional podium spot ahead of Nash. Ryan Raffa on a good run here on Sunday afternoon in the Full Tilt Racing Team Ferris livery. Here's Davin Roberts looking to pass him by. Davin through to the inside.
Blake Nash, we've talked about, has had a quiet weekend, not the weekend he wanted, but here he is in 5th position. He just needs the top 3 maybe to start duking it out here with a handful of laps to go, and maybe he's able to catch up there, have a battle there, or a chance at least to get on the podium.
Yeah, he's very close here to Gaffera in the run to the infield. Half a car length away. Caleb Gaffera, you can see the leaders on the other end of the track there going up the hill. It's a
big margin they're going to have to make up.
It's a deflating feeling. Yeah, they won't be able to get to him. All of it, again, goes back to the moment from James earlier in the race, and we'll see what looks we have at that as well to really be able to break things down of where this race kind of came apart on us and has split it into 2 different distinct groups here.
It's almost it's over a 6.5 second margin. It's actually grown exponentially the last couple laps. I didn't realize That's how large the margin was, but you never know what could happen with these 10 laps to go, so they're going to keep their foot in it as long as they can until that checkered flag waves.
Through the infield we go with 10 remaining. Gafera and Nash and Overbeck, they all seem pretty gridlocked on speed, so Nash now going by, going to try and see if he can break away. Overbeck is still right there on the heels of the both of them. And here's the worst part of it, right? Lap time-wise, they are almost as quick, if not as quick, as the front four. Had they, again, been able to be a little bit easier on each other in the earlier going, they would have been up here. But we are watching a masterclass on display. After Vanchev got the better of Pauly early, Pauly's pulled that gap to 4/10. And this group back here are just stuck fighting amongst themselves for the scraps of the top 10.
Yeah, you can see our lead group, they're not really nose to tail anymore. There's kind of at least a one kart difference, a one kart gap in between each of them, as really this is the best battle we have on the racetrack. You can see our leaders up there on the other side. Not really anyone close enough to even make a move.
Pauly Massimino looking to be the first driver in the event history to win both the KA Senior and X30 Pro main event on Sunday. It's wild. Over the 5 years we've had a number of different winners. We've had a number of drivers be able to win the shootout and the main in the various classes, and last year we had Lucas Palacio able to double up. But look at this, Joe Turney
getting faster,
turning up the wick here. Last time by, really finding a little bit more speed. That 47.24 was about a half-tenth better than Pauly Massimino. So he was able to close the margin a little bit. But again, Massimino knows it's go time as well. We're in the latter stage of it. We are down to raw pace between these three. Turney at a 3.5 that time. Massimino a 3.4. Just a game of willpower at this point. But here in the session.
What have we said about Turney all weekend? The longer his kart runs, the faster it gets.
But that's again what Pauly tuned for, what the BJR crew were prepared for. A 25-lap main. They have gotten him to be matching Joe stride for stride. And Enzo Vidmontien, unfortunately, a bit of a deja vu moment here. Last time by, he lost a 10th to the top three, slipping backwards. He's on the box provisionally. Doesn't really have to worry about anyone further back because this is how far back the next group is. The fight for fifth between Nash and Overbeck. Caleb Gafera in seventh. Rolling out of turn number 9. Come around this time to 6 laps to go. Up to 4/10 for Pauly, but here's the important part. Turney's now going to get the benefit of the draft off the back of Vanchev. He went a 10th quicker than Alexander Vanchev. And this is a position Joe Turney has certainly been familiar with this weekend, like you mentioned, Brett. As Overbeck claws closer to Nash here, that'll be a looming pass or fit. Here's way back,
Ooh.
Matt Landers on
using all that curbing.
Jumped on there trying to pass Stanfield, and they both lose a spot to Danny Perez, and Stanfield's not happy about it. Sends him into the wall. Alex Stanfield.
Oh,
and
you
Matt
can see
Landers.
the frustration.
Got into the back of him into 6th, and he's stuck on top of the Prodigy Best Kart. Not a welcome, a happy return sight for Stanfield, and a heartbreaker for Matt Landers' X30 Pro debut.
And you hate to see that with 5 laps to go. Here's the replay.
Yeah, he got in deep. Landers got in a bit deep as well, and then Colin Lloyd right in front of him as he was trying to make up for lost time.
And you can see there, once you get off there, I mean, that is just a messy, muddy, dirt mess. You're not going to save it once you go off that concrete there.
No. And now there's all that dirt and debris blown on the track for Pauly Massimino to clear off here this lap. And he's certainly given up a little time to Turney, but he still managed to pull a little further away from Vanchev. 4 to go. Joe Turney trying to make one last heave. He's now onto the bumper of Vanchev. Vanchev digging hard. He's down to half a second back from Pauly. And this will be a long shot for Joe.
I mean, same song, different verse, because we've seen Pauly get the win and Joe Turney be on the podium so many times this weekend. And it looks like that's what's shaping up to happen once again here.
Turney giving everything she's got, launching over the curbs and the S's. Gonna need a deep dive here. Here it comes. on Vanchev. He'll get that spot away, use the runoff, try to minimize the time lost. Okay, up to second. Now in the next 3 laps, how much speed is still left in that MPG Motorsports Kart Republic? Two of the best.
How much was Massimino saving? Is he going to put the pedal to the metal now and just extend that gap?
I don't know if he's been saving anything these last 5 laps. I think he's been trying to pull away from Vanchev. Now he's trying to pull away from Joe. 8/10. The last time these two met was in Arizona. And in that head-to-head fight, Turney got the better of him, but Turney was in the lead in the closing laps. Now the roles are reversed. Paulie Massimino was the driver that ended Joe Turney's 7-race winning streak that spanned over a year and a half in his limited starts between 2024 and 2025. Back at Road America last summer. And Paulie has since parlayed that into a win at the Winter Series in Texas. A win 3 weeks ago here at Trackhouse. He's trying to win once again. His 4th win over the last 8 months. It'd be his 7th, only his 7th of his 125 Pro career. And down the backstretch, with 2 to go, the gap held last time. It wasn't enough. Turney only able to be even to Massimino.
Yeah,
4 thousandths apart.
Turney hasn't been able to pull away from Vanchev, so second is still up for grabs here as we kind of come around with the final white flag lap.
And Joe Turney, I'm sure, is going to be very frustrated that he had to overcome this 1.7 second deficit after James Overbeck and him went at it, and Overbeck defended a bit. Eventually, Joe was able to get past him, but by that point, Paulie had gotten away, Vanchev had gotten away, and Joe has made up for that all but 1 spot. 1 to go. This will be a record-setting payday here when we get back around to the line. Paulie Massimino off the Apex Apparel Shootout, $4,000. Another $4,000 in the KA Senior main event. He was shut out from getting another shootout win last night. But on Sunday, as he makes his way to the infield, a Sunday afternoon cruise, he's put 0 wheels wrong in this main. He's only made 1 blemish all weekend, and of all the laps turned across both divisions, he's been the driver and the car to beat as they fight for 5th. Paulie Massimino becomes the 6th different winner at the IAME Grand National Championship. Turney 2nd, Vanchev 3rd, Vin Montien. Here's the fight for 5th. It was Overbeck, Nash, and Gaffera. Blake Nash will once again end up on the box, rounding off the top 5.
So I believe that's over $10,000 this weekend for Paulie Massimino. That's a pretty good payday for a weekend of racing.
Yeah, that's a nice one. So it is a double. The first driver to sweep both headline divisions at the IAME Grand National Championship. The winningest driver extending his streak in the Apex Apparel Shootout, now winning it 3 times over the 6 years. And now, the only main event he hasn't won was the X30 Pro main event. And he has just ticked that box. Paulie Massimino, a phenomenal Sunday here at Trackhouse Motorplex. And a sign of respect here from the field. Alexander Vanchev, Joe Turney, tip of the cap to him.
I mean, what a great driver. Again, just 15 years old, hanging out with these 20-something-year-olds, able to get a podium finish. Again, he had a podium last night, too. So Vanchev, very, very strong. Should be proud of himself. Obviously wanted that win, but there is our winner. Again, Paulie Massimino.
A record-breaking win for him this weekend. Going 2 for 2, KA Senior and X30. I'll let him celebrate. Paulie, can you just maybe even try with words of how you're feeling right now?
Unreal. Unreal. Yeah, we've had a really fast package all weekend, and I knew I just had to keep myself calm, and I knew we'd have a piece to fight. Luckily, we didn't have to fight too much. A little bit in the beginning, a little bit in the middle. Then after that, I tried to keep my eyes forward and just go and hit my marks and try and get out of whatever mess I could have been in.
And if I did my math right, I believe that you've made over $10,000 just this weekend alone. How does it feel, and what are you planning to spend it on?
Yeah, it feels really good. Spend a little bit in Turks and Caicos next week with my girlfriend and the Jars Cracks. But I don't know. I don't know about the rest. Probably give out some bonuses to some people under the team. That's helped me a lot. So none of this is possible without the whole BGR team, especially Brandon, for putting his trust in me and being, his lead guy to go out there and perform for him. And then, obviously the BBS horsepower is unreal. Every race, it seems like it just keeps getting better and better. So obviously their KA stuff is super dominant, but now their X30 stuff is really good.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. And just a thank you to, the whole BGR team once again, BBS Racing Engines. My mechanic, Aiden, has been taking some time off. He has a real job now, so I'm glad he can come back and we can get that done together. Obviously my dad, my parents, Apex Apparel, the whole Knockman family, Offset, Nextset, Wiggity Wayne Barbecue Sauce, Odenthal, I guess Poly Racing for all the laps, and everybody else that supports me, and we're gonna have fun tonight.
There you have a very grateful Paulie Massimino.
Thank you.
Pass it down to Joe Turney here. Joe, tell me a little bit about that race. I know that there were some a little iffy moments there for you. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, I mean, James obviously dropped a wheel in the middle and then defended from us. So I tried to open up to switch him back, and obviously Buddy must have been on my right side. I didn't know, so hitting to the side of him. So really sorry to him because I think it ruined his race and ruined mine as well. So I had to finish the race then with a bent axle, and sucks. But it's a shame because even with that, we were able to drive back up to the front. So. Speed was obviously good, and we found it in the end, so we can be really happy with that. But still not enough to catch Paulie today, and I think them boys this weekend have been the best by a little bit.
And is there anyone that you want to thank for the pace that you had this weekend so far?
Yeah, Kart Republic, Eric, Tate have all worked super hard, and BN as well. So we've all worked super hard this week, doing 2 classes, and in the end, close in both. But no wins, unfortunately.
Well, thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
And I actually want to grab Alex Vanchev if I can. Tell me a little bit about that race for you. You were racing really hard, had a lot of pace there at the beginning.
Yeah, so started 11th, had a pretty good start. I mean, in the first couple of laps, I made it to something like 3rd. I got by Joe, and then I set my eyes on Paulie, but as I ripped up to him, just sat in his wash a little bit too much and burned up my tires. I tried to go by, but he had a little bit more speed than I did. And then just for the rest of the race, tires weren't at their operating window, so just tried to stay in my position in second. Obviously, Joe got me at the end, but I'm really, really happy with the final. Otherwise, starting 11th, had a really tough weekend up to this point, so it's not a bad way to finish it off.
And if you could do it all again, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Not much, to be honest. I think on my end, I did not too bad of a job. Maybe I would have. Honestly, it's if, but I could have maybe passed Paulie and defended for a bit, made it a white line show, but that's not the best type of race to be in. So I think I'm pretty happy with my performance.
Yeah, you can't complain with that. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
There you have it from your top 3 finishers: Paulie Massimino, Joe Turney, Alexander Vanchev, the top 3 with the dust settled here in today's X30 Pro main event. The results obviously unofficial as they cross the line. But what a day it has been here for the IAME USA Grand National Championship. All Paulie here on Sunday in both K Senior and X30 Pro.
Cat food marketing. $9.99 a month. Dude, Caleb, wake up. Dude, we're live in 5 minutes. Let's go. Come on. What are you doing?
Dude, I'm so sorry. Xander had me in a cat food marketing meeting till like 2 a.m. last night.
Come on, man.
Do you have anything I can drink?
Dude, I got the perfect thing for you. Perico. It's a healthy energy drink alternative.
Perico, non-GMO, gluten-free, kosher, magnesium, B12, B6,
Yeah, it's good.
B5, biotin, and 0 sugar? Pericazo! Try Perico, made with natural ingredients, organic caffeine, and supports your metabolism. Try the new official energy drink of Kart Chaser.
This is Henry. Henry feels sad. Henry feels sad because it's time for his next big race and his go-kart is in bits. Henry doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing is the United States' #1 shop for all of your karting equipment needs. Henry also doesn't know that Acceleration Kart Racing can deliver anything from tires to race suits and even wheels directly to your front door or to the racetrack itself, quickly and efficiently, with tech support available 6 days a week. Poor Henry doesn't even know that Acceleration Kart Racing offers free shipping to mainland USA on selected product if you spend $200 or more. Do yourself a favor. Go to accelerationkarting.com and make sure that you are never left stuck on the pre-grid with Henry. Be smart and don't be like Henry.
Karting isn't just speed. It's control, precision, freedom. At Atlanta Motorsport Park, Kart Freedom isn't just a team. It's where drivers are made.